boys? Have Sonic Fox come see me here, bitch. Oh, well.
Sonic Fox is coming in the call. Sonic Fox might come in the call. What do you got?
You know what's
he
so
might
funny?
have to take Rio's. He might have to take
You know
Rio's.
what's so funny?
I might actually scratch. I might just do some hype matches. Not commentate, but we do our podcast over
Man,
while
Carl
we're doing
is-
the podcast. What?
I wish we could have Carl on so we could do an intervention on Carl.
I don't. Carl last week was insane. Carl went insane for some reason. That's why I started
Carl?
playing that music.
Carl called me and he was like, yeah, this and that. I'm like, Carl, you realize your own insecurities about Sonic Fox and why people get on you about it. I'm like, look, I've won plenty in my life, and I give a shit what people say about Sonic Fox. When they were like, hey, man, would you think you have won those Tekken tournaments if Sonic Fox was around? Yes, I don't give a fuck if you're a fox or a dog or a dinosaur. I don't care what you were.
I like how you just casually just went in on Carl for no reason.
No, I mean, like, his own insecurity. Like, I feel bad because, like, his accomplishments get erased, but only because, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
he just doesn't get off the box. You know what I mean? If he just left it alone, nobody would care.
Well, maybe if Sonic joins the call, you guys can talk about that as well.
I mean, like I said, you just... When people act like nobody cares about the 1976 Olympics, I just watched the Hall of Fame ceremony. They seem to give a shit a lot about what happened in 1976. You know,
That's a good point, yeah.
as a matter of fact, if you were in 1976 in the Hall of Famer, they would tell you in 2000 who are not in the Hall of Fame, what have you done?
All right.
Is this better?
Yes, far better.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, a lot
Yes,
better.
A lot better.
Right.
Dish that mic.
Now
That
you-
mic's trash.
Okay.
Yeah, ditch the mic, man.
All right, can we literally get started?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, Dave. Let's see. I'm gonna dump that start. All right, Dave, kick us off.
Well, I mean, the game has been out like for what, a year now, a year something.
It's been down for 17 months.
All right, let's talk about the current state of the meta of the game and the way you perceive it. Let's start right off the bat with. I haven't heard from him in a while. My good friend Tom Brady. Start us off, baby.
With the current state of the meta?
Yeah, and what do you think about it?
Hold on one second.
All right, that's a great start.
All right, that's a great start.
is, he
Wanna go
taking,
first?
is he taking his notebook out or something? Like, what's going on?
I don't know what he's doing.
Okay, the current state of the meta, I mean, hard to say. I mean, I think the current state of the meta is that, okay, I think it's just basically the character select screen, top 3 win, those that aren't, don't. Outside of Evo, which was 2 out of 3, so you can chalk a luck up 2 out of 3. But I think the meta is, in the game is pretty good outside of the top 3. Where look, we even saw Tekken Master's performance as good as he was. Alien came on the screen, and it looks like he never played the game in his life. So I mean, I think that's basically what it is. Top 3 characters too strong.
But is Alien, but Tom, or anybody for that, is Alien as good as people say? Because if you compare it to like some of the previous NRS games top tiers like Martian and Cabal, I would say he's definitely not on that level.
No, I don't think Alien's on Martian, Aquaman. I don't think he's on Cabal. I don't think he's on MK9 Kenshi's level.
I would disagree.
I think Alien is super good. I mean, obviously he's top 3. I think Acidic is probably.
Look, you miss. How do I explain this? I'm not looking at the character's tools. I'm looking at the effectiveness of the tool. So in other words, you can take everything Cabal has, right?
Uh-huh.
Besides Rio, I basically was able to beat every Cabal out there, and it was not too difficult outside of Rio's Cabal.
Okay.
The strategy is so simple with Martian that anyone off the street can play Martian Manhunter, and literally they start forward 1, and I have to say, do I take the low combo into the Rekka or the overhead into the combo?
But you're talking about Alien, right?
Yeah, they literally put me in a position where they have the worst player in the world has a 50% chance to inflict a 40% combo every time I block a string. That's a lot better than a Cabal player. The Alien player has a lot higher percentage chance of hitting me than the Cabal player does. So, and you know, Melina is a little more difficult than Alien to play. Ironically, I watched the tournament where Acromaniac lost because the opponent just kept jumping at him, which was, I mean, you obviously can't do that to someone like Foxy Grandpa. But I think because Melina's tools are still very powerful offensively, because what makes her retarded is her defensive ability, her ability to break 2 to 3 times around, things like that. And we see these Melina players doing EX rolls and EX size, and you hit them, and they're like, well, I don't have any meter to break. You don't really catch someone like Foxy in that situation. So I'd say Melina is a little harder to play simply because she uses, again, things like meter management, things like that. So if you're an idiot off the street, you pick up Melina, you're not going to have the smart meter management. You're not breaking any times around, let alone 2 or 3. And you're not really going to have the patience to sit there and try to anticipate somebody jumping at you or over you. You're going to get caught, things like that. And the next thing is, like, Foxy Grandpa has changed himself into a true Melina player. Other Melina players I do just fine. I run at them, I can poke like every other character in the game, but Foxy Grandpa has literally changed his brain into a true Melina player. I run at Foxy, and there are certain situations where normal characters, you realize, hey, if I hit this button right now, their move is going to hit me first. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm responding too late, so we block. Well, people that switch over to Melina, they still block in those situations. So you're able to run in and pressure offense on her the same as every other character. But Foxy is like, hey, if I get this attack on the screen, even though you would normally beat me because it has no collision, I'm still going to beat you. So I'm attacking too late under normal circumstances, but because I'm Melina, this is not a normal circumstance.
All right, wait. All right, slow down. Let's go back to the meta question.
Well, I'm getting to that.
Well, dude, you're taking 15 minutes to answer it.
Well, my point is that
go right to it.
My point is, while Melina is ridiculously powerful, she is not as easy as someone like Alien. While Sonya is ridiculously powerful, people don't have the placement of the grenades that Scar does to really showcase how super retarded she is. But Alien is just literally, hi, I'm acidic, you're in the corner. Do you want to take the forward 1-3-4 into the EX acid, and then even if you guess right, you still lose 20% of damage? Or do you just want to, duck and take the forward 1-3 overhead? This way you're not stuck in an acid puddle, so at least, you take the overhead and then you have a chance to guess right on wake up. That's a retarded decision to make. You have to sometimes literally take the overhead because you can't take the low into the acid. So, literally, the worst person on the planet can put you in the most retarded situation with Alien with zero thought process. That makes Alien stronger than anything Cabal ever had.
Oh, well, all right. Pig, how do you see it?
I don't know what he's talking about. I mean, Tom, I agree with what you're saying, but I mean, let's talk about the meta of the game.
Okay, the meta of the game is 50-50s, right? Yes or no? The 50-50 means even the dumbest person in the world, in theory, has a 50% chance to hit you, right? In theory, correct?
Okay.
Right?
Yeah. Okay.
That's a pretty high chance, isn't it?
Yeah. I don't know.
I mean,
Rio, what are your thoughts on the overall meta of the game? Is there anything you would like to change that you feel that could be changed?
The meta's fine outside of the top 3, in my opinion. The meta works outside of the top 3. The meta of the game.
The meta to me is very offensive. A lot of mix-ups. A lot of knockdown conditioning, jumping. What I really don't like about the meta is how strong the jumping is. Bar from a select few characters that have anti-airs. I don't like how the meta is, am I going to run up? Am I going to armor? Am I going to jump here? Am I going to do this or that? Like, it's very explosive gameplay. Like, it's hard to control a lot of stuff unless you're in certain matchups or you're playing certain characters that just by nature control everything, like Melina. Kind of have to respect her no matter what. She could roll, jump, back 1-2, teleport, she has options for days and days. But, I mean, yeah, kind of like Tom said, the meta is a lot more annoying at a top tier level of the game, top tier, high tier, than it is at a mid tier or low tier level. Like, it's manageable at a lower tier because, it's not as crazy or as explosive or armor launchers everywhere and that nonsense. But I feel like the meta is one of the things I don't like about the game. Like, I like everything about the game. So I'm not too much of a fan about the meta, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Well, Pig, I think, and I think you can speak right on this, anybody. I think the problem is there's only one meta, and that's the only meta you can play with this game. There's no Kenshi who can zone you. There's no Aquan who can play footsies that, there's no character like Zad who can run away. It seems like if you're not knocking down people in the corner and constantly mixing them up, you can't win in this game. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think. I'm not going to spend all day talking about Kenshi, but just real quick on Kenshi, he doesn't fit. He's designed to be somewhat of his owner, and in Kenjutsu he's designed to be a rushdown. But the problem is with this Kenjutsu and Possessed, the rushdown isn't like the top character or even the top 10, top 15 characters rushdown. It's not oppressive. To be viable in this game, you've got to have something oppressive. You've got to have something that you can use to smother people. And if you don't have something that is a smothering trait,
continuous offense.
like a smothering characteristic about your character, whether it be defensive, like I knock you back, and then you're like, scratching at your scalp, going, "Oh, I can't get back in." That's not the case in this game. So people are able to get in on Kenshi, doesn't matter which variation is, and then it's like, all right, Pig, we'll go rush down. And I've laughed for 17 months about saying like, oh, Pig just wants to run away, he just wants his zone. Bitch, I wrote the rush down fucking guide on Zod. Suck it.
It's true.
Suck it, man.
It's true.
Like I didn't do what Dave did. Dave had to yell at me for a year. Stop trying to rush down Aquaman. Stop trying to rush down Aquaman. Zone Aquaman. Play the trade game against Aquaman. Like Dave literally had to just yell at me and text me constantly for a year, and I finally got it way too late. And same thing as Sinestro as well. He's like, no, Pig, just play the zone game. I'm like, no, I want to rush in that bitch. And so it has nothing to do with I don't want to get in the face. I don't want to rush down. I want to rush down. I want to have as oppressive as offense as Flame Fist or Dragon's Fire or Acidic Alien or Melina or Demo. Just something. When she puts that grenade on screen, she's like, oh, shit, party time, bitch.
Okay, I misunderstood the question.
Wait, so a few people have questions in the chat saying, what is meta? Meta is basically how the game plays at a high level, or what the high level usually
Meta is the game
around.
within the game itself.
Yeah, basically, like, when you play the game at a high level, like, what usually wins or what the game's based around. This game is based around a lot of offense, mix-up, stuff like that.
Okay, I'd like to change my answer then. With the game, and to me, I think the meta overall, I was trying to say what is the most dominant stuff in the game, which is what the meta is. But if I want to answer, like, say, all things being equal, what the meta of the game would be, the meta of the game is continuous offense. Basically, you have some characters in this game that have offense, but they are left at high negative frames. So they get their one shot, and then you get your turn. You have other characters who are low negative frames, -1 to -3. And you block whatever they have, you hesitate for a second, they poke you, boom, they go forward. You go to respawn, are they going to armor? Are they going to neutral jump? Are they going to jump over you? And it's like sometimes I think those characters find themselves obviously not impossible to defeat, but they find themselves, or that meta and characters that can play that meta find themselves at an advantage simply because their offense is always continuous. They get to take their shot, oftentimes still a 50-50, and then after the 50-50, you're still caught in a mix-up. Maybe not a high-low mix-up, but a mix-up as well, where they still have a chance to launch you. Whereas you, as soon as whatever you take your shot, they guess right, the mind game is over if they get their turn. And I think that's where someone like Kenshi would be, whereas no matter what his offense is, he took his shot, now his shot is done. Whereas other people are taking their shot at Kenjutsu, and even when their offense is over, it's still not over. We see Takeda players do this. In fact, I saw a Takeda player play against Tekken Master, and he seemed shocked by Tekken Master always taking his turn back. Like a Takeda player was like, what is this? What is this guy taking his turn back? He was shocked to always, after he took his turn, the other guy took his turn back, and it just overwhelmed him to give up his turn again. And I just think that, like Rio said, is the meta. It's continuous
But how
offense.
do we, again, I'm not going to call for anybody's jobs. I'm not going to call anybody in NSL personally. How is the meta
Dave,
in this god? Oh, I
Dave.
just don't understand. Hold on a minute.
Dave, go
You guys know
Let us
deception.
speak. Let us speak.
Tom, you know Deception. Pig, you know Deception. Mortal Kombat Deception, a game that was a complete joke because the offense was literally 50-50. How did we regress to 10 years ago instead of our games getting better? They get... Just think of a Quan Chi's. I mean, you guys seen Quan Chi's Vortex Pre, like all the nonsense that we've had to deal with for a year. How come the game has regressed in terms of its quality to the point where the offense is literally, in my opinion, it's probably is if not if not like Marvel, it's right there with Marvel. How do you deal with that?
What's good?
Hey, Sonic just got
Sonic?
a call.
Hey,
Yeah, yeah.
did you like change your Skype name or something? It's like
No,
longer
you completely disappeared off my Skype list. I couldn't find you. I had to re-add you for some reason. I had no idea.
Yeah, it says. Okay, that's weird. Alright, what's good, guys? Who's here?
Can you
So
can,
what's the
can, can you
conversation?
can your mic get a little louder?
It can.
Yeah, get louder.
Wait, am I not loud?
Your
Dave,
mic.
do you want me to give you like a little quick
better?
answer to your question?
Yeah, go ahead. Like, how do you
Better,
explain
yeah.
that?
Okay, I think it's because people just find Rushdown to be more hype and exciting to watch than, turtling, zoning, all that boring stuff. People want to see somebody get in, mop shit, start explosive shit, bunch of fireworks on the screen, go in, just go, go, go. Just end shit. Like, they want things to be exciting and very entertaining. They don't want to see a match go worse. People,
I think
he's saying, why? Wait, do you
he's
want to
saying
repeat it again?
he's saying how did this happen where we've regressed to Mortal Kombat Deception?
It's not
Basically.
Deception. Deception was like you got hit once and you got infinite. What the fuck?
You sound 20 feet away from your mic. We can hear you,
Yeah.
but it's so super quiet. People are saying. in
We're
the chat,
saying
too.
I guess he's saying barring the infinites.
I don't know.
Yeah, aside from the infinite combos, if you look at, I guess Pig, you would know better with Darius. Well, like standing three. I'm serious. Standing three was a overhead, and then you throw, and you do this 50-50 mix up into, it's again,
Yeah,
it's
pretty
like
much every character.
yeah, it's the same concept. You're right, Fox. Aside from the infinite combos, but the game meta is almost the same. Maybe not as much anymore, but if you look at it like the way the game used to be, it was literally all pressure, all 50-50. That's literally what the game was. Limited zoning, limited footsies, very knockdown.
Well, it's because we
based.
didn't discover them until a late game. Yeah, here we are now.
Well, to answer to comment on Rio's thing where they talk about more hype, whatever. I think what Dave is to add to Dave's point. I think Dave's point is like, okay, well, if that's the case, where people find XYZ more hype, whatever, why is it that if they watch somebody literally 50-50 someone to death, and I guess you get caught in it and you guessed wrong 3-4 times in a row and the match is over. Okay, you got caught. Good shit. You caught me. Why would
There's only
people
one
say?
candidate that really does that.
I know, but my point is, I think Rio's saying people find that more hype.
Well,
I think the comment on
Wait, what's
Dave's
your
thing,
question, Tom?
I think the comment off Dave thing, Dave's point is probably like, well, why? Where did we get to a point where people find it's so hype to get mixed up 300 times in a row instead of looking at it and saying, dude, come on. But if somebody were to beat somebody by pure defense, spacing, timeouts, zoning, we look at that and we say, dude, get this shit off the screen. But if a Playing to Win once told me, he said, if I would have watched like a great player time somebody out, like a Sub-Zero time someone out, or say I watched Mario zone somebody out, I'm like, the patience and the spacing that guy had to stop like a Johnny Cage player or someone who just wants to come in, I would say that's amazing. And the stream monsters would say, get this shit off the stream and never put it back. He said, but if I watch somebody literally overhead low, the stream is going crazy. Oh shit, hype. Oh shit, hype. I mean, the case in point is final round where I watched Sonic Fox versus Dragon. Both of them used Alien. And, Sonic Fox was playing acidic, but Sonic Fox was a little more 50-50 oriented than Dragon, who was content to just play safe, Rekka, so on and so forth. The stream was constantly bashing Dragon for doing the same string into Rekka. They were like, this is bullshit, get it off the screen. We played the Mirror, and the Mirror was a very good match. I was entertained by it between Sonic Fox and Dragon. But literally, Sonic Fox was doing the same string, only into overhead low, and the stream was like, oh shit, get hype, get hype. But the whole tournament when Dragon did it, he just didn't end in the 50-50. They literally wanted to string him up and hang him outside after the tournament.
The community hates Ruckus for some random reason. I don't care.
But I just think they don't like
The character
more
is
safer
garbage.
defensive option. I think it comes down
I don't
to
think it's that. I just think it's from the Tanya episode that people thought Dragon was bad, but you just want to see Dragon lose.
Well, I
Yeah,
think
Tanya brought a lot of bad energy
I
into
think in
that.
general in fighting games though, for the most part, like I think if you were to take, an average player and he sits there and he says, okay, well, I'm playing my friend, you do your moves, I do my moves, whose moves are gonna hit each other? Oh shit, this is so fun. But then you put him against a player that blocks, and you're like, well, this is stupid. The way I hit you is your moves versus my moves. You're just blocking everything I'm doing and then hitting
That
me.
sounds
Get
like
the
a
fuck out of here. This is stupid. I just think that they don't like that. I think it just evolved into people in general got tired
The
of the
character
unfair
is
advantage
garbage.
of fighting games. They got tired of this guy's been playing footsies for 15 years. He gets the concept a lot better than me, who's been doing it for a couple of months. Not, is there something that can kind of bridge the gap between this guy and myself to give me a little better competitive chance so that, I can start taking this game just as seriously as he does. And that's where the term, how do I open someone up, came into play.
But Tom, if you look at like Street Fighter, it's definitely not defensive. In fact, the defense in that game is probably one of the weakest.
Yeah, Street
weakest-
Fighter 5 is a
course.
game.
So
But that's the way these fighting games are going. That's
I know, and that's fine. But here's the thing, though: like the offense in that game isn't completely like blown out of proportion. It isn't nuts.
Yeah.
Fox,
because
you know,
it's different. See, you have to look at how offense and defense pairs up in each game. So Street Fighter is a game that doesn't have any combo breakers at all, or any block. It doesn't even have a block button for that matter. And like you can get opened up twice and like lose in that game.
still die.
Move
Yeah.
around, but
it's not like Quan Chi type Vortex. Not
yeah,
like
yeah, that's the trade-off. But Mortal Kombat X has like all the crazy dumb shit in it. But like, you have not
But
only
Mortal
do you have
Kombat has always been over the top.
Yeah.
Mortal Kombat has always been, their specials
Dumb.
are going to be
dumb.
yeah,
Like even in MK9, like nobody wants to admit it, but it's always been this way.
yeah, I mean, the shit was over the top in general. You know what I mean? In the game, and I think that's the way MK is. It's very over the top.
Yeah.
I think it's just every fighting game era has something different. We had the era of like the games where everything was defensive, like CVS2, DOA 3, Tekken 4. Which
But wait a minute, that's not true. Like different means you have. Okay, look
Every
at
era has
MK9. All
something
of you,
different in
that's
fighting.
not even about era. You look at Cabal, he could do everything. You look at Kenshi, mid-range zoning, Freddy, full-screen zoning, Cage, offense, Sonya, offense, Smoke, anti-zoning, and I can give you a million examples of Injustice. That's called variety. Even if the games were broken, like, that's why the meta wasn't fucking stale, because you
Yeah,
had a
but
little bit of
I
different
think-
for everybody.
Yeah, but I think MK9 was in a different time. MK9 was the first title to follow,
It established a competitive scene for us.
Yeah, it
Oh,
followed.
Oh yeah.
MK9 when people announced when they announced MK9, aside from us, the entire fighting game world was like, LOL, more MK Deception type garbage with 50-50s, and so I think the perception was so negative that here comes MK Deception in 2D, guys.
But
that I
Tom, it's
think-
not even MK9. You can make this say again. Injustice, Martian does everything.
I know.
Aquaman zone, footsies, Zod, runaway zoning, Batgirl,
Back the
50
Vortex character.
I know,
and,
but I
and, that-
think-
and that's fine. You can have that type of gameplay. Just please have some variety, so not every character revolves around. Okay, let me knock him down and mix him up for the rest of the round. That's all I'm.
What do you expect in a game with a run feature where a character can, at the speed of light, get from point A to point B?
Like this, MKX is very like the game is rushdown oriented, but like it's like for somebody that has played like billions and billions and billions of rushdown characters, like every single character like has different type of rushdown like how to play, and like there are like maybe like 2 zoning characters in this game, and then that's it. But else is like
I mean, like if there was no run button, Devora would not be able to run across the screen against HQT Predator and go under all his fireballs.
yeah.
I mean, I just think any game that has a run button by nature is going to be heavily offensive. Simply because you're just, no matter what you give a character, you're just not going to be able to keep them out. Which is why Foxy Grandpa plays Melina. As great as her defense is, Foxy Grandpa realizes her best move is Breaker. Because he realizes people are going to get in. Even as good as Melina's defensive tools are, people are still going to get in. It's impossible to think that when you can run across the screen, you're going to keep somebody at bay for eternity.
Hey, all right, let me ask you guys a question. I want to change the pace of the conversation just really quick.
Everybody's breaking out for me.
Oh, Can we?
You guys still hear me?
Yeah. I can. Hear
Yeah, you're fine. Yeah, everybody's
Again,
fine.
To close it, I think the meta of the game is fine. I don't mind it. I just think the only problem with the meta is there are characters that are like super OD in the meta right now.
Yeah, there's certain characters that like do things way better than every other character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nobody wants that.
Nobody wants that
This
in the
thing,
game
like,
ever.
like the game is all about getting people in that position. So if
It's like being able to play your character's game.
yeah, who can play? It's a turn-based game. You know, your turn to be in my BS, my turn to be in yours, and who gets to put their
Who gets the
opponent
most like
in. Yeah, obviously, who puts their opponent in it the most has a higher chance of winning because they're going to get more chances to mix or whatever you want to call
But
it.
like I said, that's where like a lot of fundamentals come into play because you can stop people from putting you can
Yeah.
stop yourself from being put in that situation.
Of course, but then you have characters like Alien, which are just so OD on it. You know what I mean?
Well,
And-
hold on.
It's hard.
hold
It's
on, hold on.
harder.
It's-
Fundamentals and how a person plays neutral and this and that. I mean, sometimes when it's Kenshi versus Acidic, I don't know about that. Like, I mean, I don't know about that, man.
You have to
gotta stop
understand
that.
certain you can be as like fundamentally sound as you ever want, but there's certain matchups that are just not working.
Yeah. I mean, there's some matchups.
So,
I wish sometimes when I'm playing, I just had a camera on my face the entire like 40 game series I played with people. I would just want them to see the disgust and angst and just the scalp scratching on my face. I mean, it is.
Something like that exists for like almost every single fighting game. Like even in Street Fighter 5, look at
Yeah, but those are called bad matchups. An example would
Yeah.
be, say I'm a Sub-Zero player. An example would be Sub-Zero versus Devora. Okay, that's a bad matchup. But Devora is, I couldn't sit there and say, well, Devora is so dumb, she dominates 90% of. That's not true.
I think
Devora, it's just a bad matchup. But I could look at Alien and say, not only does Alien crush me, he crushes almost everybody.
I think for the last 17 months, I've said, "Must be nice," like that. Probably about 100 times a night.
The
Yep,
meta
it
of the
must be
game, I think, the meta of the game is fine. I just think that there are some people who just take their turn a little too much, and there's not much you can do about it.
that Sonya.
Yeah, Sonya.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah.
Sonya is the queen of like, hey, I'm in a really fucked up spot. But if you take advantage of it, guess what? Bad news for you. You get comboed instead. You know, like Sonya is like the ultimate worm on the hook. Sonya's like, I'm in the worst spot ever. But
But like, I commend Sonya players though, because that shit is hard. So like,
well, I give Scar a lot of credit. I don't normally have a
that
problem
shit
with
is
depth.
like, it is not easy. Whoever people say that Sonya's an easy character, no. He's probably one of the thought. Demolition Sun is probably one of the most technical characters.
I know, but the problem
Oh,
is
hold
hold on. We take
Demolition.
characters. Oh, but the problem is we take characters that are far less powerful than Demolition, and we claim they are just broken. We're like, look at this character, Ermac. Ermac is not as good as Demolition. People are like, oh my god, Ermac, too good.
I think Ermac is a top tier.
all right.
Top tier, but he's not as good as Demolition. So literally, just because something is more technical, Pig right now could say,
Ermac is
hey,
up
dog.
there. Ermac is 7 to 10.
Ermac is,
But he's
pretty top
not.
tier.
He's not. Again,
He's pretty top tier.
Pretty top tier.
he's top tier. But again, the bottom line is I think the meta of the game is fine. It's all about taking your turn more so than the opponent. They are just characters who, just by being selected, take their turn more. Too much
All right.
for the
Well,
game. Other than that, the game is fine. I
I've
mean,
got
Because like Sonya was always from the very start a rushdown oriented character, and then they made her even better.
it's like sports. I mean, the bottom line is I'm sure a lot of defenses in the NFL don't appreciate the rule changes. But what they do appreciate is the money they make because the rule changes have more fans to the game. It's with gaming, everybody in gaming wants to make money. Everybody, whether it doesn't matter whether you're a player or you're writing guides or you're testing games, opportunity comes the more interest there is. So while yes, the changes to fighting games to us, to dinosaurs like myself, I might say, hey, this isn't like what it was in the old days. But in the old days, I wasn't getting called to write guides or cast leagues or so on, or play on stream in front of thousands of people to watch. It wasn't like that, So it's a trade-off. You may not like the way they're going as much, but you can still adapt to the games and play them. And you have more opportunity now in the industry than you did because of the way fighting games are going, because they're bringing more people. So I'd say it's a trade-off. At the end of the day, you can't keep playing. You can't keep doing what you love if it doesn't pay. And the way games are going are allowing gamers to get opportunity and do what they love to do, which is something that I certainly couldn't do during my era. So I think it's a trade-off, and I think it's, obviously we don't like the way it's going as players, but it's actually for the better.
I don't mind how the game is going, but the only problem I have with the game is like it could cater to more.
Man,
Yeah,
I
that's
agree.
I think that's the yeah. I think
I
that's
That's my
agree.
only problem.
I agree. I think the point somebody made is they were like, we'd like to see Sonic Fox's offense versus a great defense player's defense, but not in a game where the offense beats it just because offense wins. They want to see your offense versus somebody's defense in a game where the offense and defensive options are equal.
So,
You know,
Skullgirls. That's the
this guy
only
always
game.
talk about Skullgirls. You were talking about.
That's actually the only game I can tell you.
Whenever I see Sonic Fox, he's like, "Hey man, the new
Well,
Skullgirls
Skullgirls gives you every single defensive option you can possibly think of.
This
There's
guy.
even a thing called push block guard canceling where if you're in block stun in Skullgirls and you push block, there's always one frame where you will always leave block stun, which means you push block guard cancel to whatever you want. So if your character has a DP, within that frame you buff it with a DP. After you finish your push block, your little push block animation, you'll input the DP in that within that one frame of guard canceling, man. You can beat out somebody's like relentless pressure. But like,
Sonic, I love
pressure
you,
in the
man.
game
You're a
is so-
credit to the Skullgirls community, man. You're a credit.
You want?
How many times have you guys been to a major?
Defense are equal.
How many times have you guys been to a major this year? And at one point in time, either the first time he sees you or last time before he heads off back home, does Sonic pull you aside and say, "Hey, so I want you to start playing Skullgirls. Let me show you." Like I think he does that to everybody. It's awesome. I love it. I love when he shows me stuff.
Skullgirls are Rumble Pack.
Yeah.
Well,
I
Back
love
is
it.
a completely different game. But Skullgirls though, like that's a game where like you being too aggressive will get you killed, and you being too defensive will also get you killed. So it's just like it's scary to, like I said, it's scary to pressure people on defense because like they can push block guard cancel and kill you by like canceling into like a DP or something. And then like most characters who can do a DP in that game can do a super afterwards, like combo off of it, and then that game is very very reset heavy. So it's like you get hit and you can potentially die.
All right, I have a question.
Yeah.
Let's talk real quick about what did MKX get right? What did we enjoy about MKX? Let's be positive about it.
I think they got the wake ups right.
Wake
like
up,
the wake-up
yes,
system.
wake up's definitely true.
I like the wake up system a lot.
What do you guys think about character choice? Not character variety, because we kind of hit on that a little bit earlier because the game's meta. What do you guys think about the character selection in the game?
Tremor all the way.
Yeah, I'm pretty high on.
Like,
I'm
like
pretty
you'll
high on
see,
the
I
character
think-
selection.
have fun with it, even though like
This game having characters like Predator and Jason is awesome.
Yeah, I mean, and Alien, to be honest with you, I mean, it's cool. I mean,
Yeah.
Jason, that's awesome.
I think they got balance correct in this game too. It's a game where like it's almost like it's like way better than Injustice was because like actually every character is like, in my opinion, viable, but you know,
Gotcha.
gotta work harder.
I think for
the-
sure
go
the
ahead.
online gameplay pig without a question.
Oh,
You know,
okay.
it's
Yeah, great.
the online. I think is currently the best out of any fighting game that I've played.
Skullgirls
Maybe
is
tech.
better.
Yeah, that too. How do we forget about that?
So I think I don't
Online
know-
is good, but Skullgirls beats it by like a free.
Well, I don't know how Skullgirls, but I know
If they're
Tekken
they're running the same thing. They both run on GGPO, but like
Yeah.
MKX uses like a different type of GGPO. Like it works, but like SG like
The
SGX
rollback
uses-
is kind of rollbacky. Like it's
Yeah.
hella rollbacky.
I don't
Yeah, I
have
think
any problem
maybe-
with the online. I think the online is personally
Yeah.
great. And
Yeah.
a lot of people, you know what's funny is a lot of people have been asking me, Pig, why, because I've been high on saying that I don't think there's any more DLC characters coming from Mortal Kombat X. Like, well, they just did GGPO and spent millions of dollars redoing their entire infrastructure for this game, and they said, why would they do that and stop making DLC? I said it's very easy. They have a multi-million-dollar product coming out next year, and they basically use this as the beta alpha testing for their new GGPO to make sure it's going to work before they release it on Injustice. Because I think it's a smart business plan. I think it's a smart idea to release GGPO on this game midway through and say, hey, let's just see how it works and see if there's anything we need to fix for Injustice 2 when we come out with ESL and all this TV shit and this and that and try to combine it with the WB network and all the Justice League heroes and TV shows. I mean, think about it. I mean, like, they have a massive plan that has to be coming. And I think that the GGPO was agreed to do this in the middle of the game's life because of ESL Season 3, because they want to please. I mean, they want to do right. I mean, they want to fix the problems, but also it could be a selling point to WB because WB's gonna have to fund that shit. Hey, we're doing this so we make sure on day one we get that part of the game right. So I think it's super cool.
I think they did it because, unlike most developers, they actually give a shit about us.
Yeah, they care about our
They care. They actually really care. As much as I have been negative or talk about this and that, all it's about my character. That's all it is. That's all it is. If my character was top 10, I probably wouldn't bitch at people about this game.
I would tell people if you're
that's
going
the
to be a
truth.
competitor, play a character that you think is good.
Oh, no, I mean, Sonic King. I'm pretty sure Davis said this. I mean, everyone has been telling me over a year, drop Kenshi, don't play Kenshi, don't play Kenshi. But something in my heart said, you know what? They're going to buff him. He's going to turn out to be awesome. All my hard work's going to pay off. Well, that didn't happen. So, yeah, I mean, going forward, I've said it 100 times.
I mean, there's going to be another patch, so it's not over yet. But...
Well, that's a good segue into the next section. I think we're going to hit on why should. All right, this is a touchy topic. I don't. All right, number one, let's just be real. ESL is not coming back. Not for this game. I mean, we're going to move on. They released that finale, like an ESL wrap-up video. I don't think ESL Season 4 is coming back. I think it's safe to say. I also don't think, for a couple of public reasons and a couple of other reasons, I don't think it's going to get another EVO. So let's just say, in a world that there is no ESL Season 4, there is no EVO next year for this game. Okay, then let's say the patch comes out tomorrow. I'm just going to throw it out tomorrow. And let's say Kenshi's top 10, top 5. Oh, God, he's fucking broke. He's number 1 in the entire game. What would I, really care? I mean, what would I have to show for? Oh, let's remember Pig. He got 7th at NEC, 5th at NEC, or, he won this, regional. I mean, no one gives a shit. If it's not EVO or ESL, I'm just going to be real with you. No one really cares. So, if the patch came out this week, which, by the way, I'm pro-patch. I want the patch to come out. I want to see and experience some kind of fun, with my character. But I'm just saying, on the competitive scheme of things, to me, it's kind of a slap in the face. It's not going to matter to me. It's just like, oh, by the way, we fixed your dinner. Sorry you had to wait 4 hours. It's... yeah, it's kind of like you go to a restaurant, you're like, 45 minutes in and out, get a nice meal. I expect to pay like I'm talking like a 5-star dining restaurant. Like I'm gonna drop $50 to $100 on my meal alone. Oh, sorry, sir, we fucked up your order 4 times. Sorry, you had to wait 4 or 5 hours for it. That's kind of how I see it. It sucks, but lesson learned. Sonic told me a year and a half ago. Everyone else told me a year and a half ago. Pick a new character. I didn't.
So your question is why should I still play this game if I can be completely?
Yeah, the question is if there is no EVO next year, and we kind of think there is no ESL for this game, what's the point of yeah, you get it, a plane competitively? Who cares?
I think it's individual. I think it's individual. So why don't we just individually? So to you, you're like, there's no point. If it's not EVO. Rio, Dave, you want to weigh in?
I mean, I also support the patch, even though I think Tremor is fine the way he is. He's the only reason I play the game. I love the character, I love the way he plays. I think it's, a lot of people don't like the armor, but of course I personally love it. So, I think, I support it, and even if there's no, I like playing casual with my local scene. I think, I like MK. I still think the game is fun. So in that respect, I really hope there's another patch. I don't think it really change anything. I don't think, if there's nothing, I still see Sonic Fox beating the shit out of everybody. But, just to get a different feel for the game, something different, maybe see different characters. I mean, Rio, I don't know how you feel.
I think if people like the game, they're gonna play it. Obviously, I'm still gonna play it.
I'm still gonna play
with or without a patch.
Well, yeah.
Can I just say what I want to change, 5 quick changes? I think would make the game so much better.
Yeah.
The block breakers. Why aren't they 1 bar? Why not just make them 1 bar?
Because you would never touch Melina ever. Because you would never touch.
Okay, but obviously characters like Melina would obviously be nerfed with the bar. But I mean, just make the block breaker 1 bar. So what? She puts you back in neutral and she uses a bar. I don't see what the big deal is.
If you're gonna make the block breakers at 1 bar, you're the only one that loses stamina.
Whatever they have to balance it, whatever kind of things that they're gonna have to balance it, I feel like they should just do that.
I was banking that was a KP2 change.
If you're gonna have a block breaker in this game that's only 1 bar, if you do it, you do a breaker, I shouldn't be losing stamina. Only you should.
Yeah, that's fine. Whatever they do to balance the 1 bar breaker, just go do it. But can it just be 1 bar?
It's pretty pointless.
But that heavily favors characters that you would never touch them. You're building characters, you would never touch them.
Alright, so make it so when you use block breaker, you're not able to build meter for 10 seconds or something. I don't know, just do something.
Think about what would happen to Blood God.
You would never touch.
Hear me out. Hear me out. I might have a potentially terrible idea, or it might be good. What about if, for variations that are clearly meant for defensive gameplay, those defensive gameplay have 1-bar block breakers?
No.
Could be. I know.
I just
said
think
it could be
block breaker needs to be 1 bar. I don't care if
That's
characters are
terrible.
gonna beat you because they put you in neutral over and over and beat you with defense. Who cares? That's kind of cool.
No, they beat you because you can't touch them.
I kind of wish block breakers weren't even in the game
But
because I
they,
use it
you always
accidentally
drain
and
a
I get
bar when you
mad.
get next to them. How are you not gonna get in? You can run, you can jump, you can armor. Like how many more ways do you need to get in? Are block breakers really gonna make the game be like, oh my god, you can't ever get in? They just keep block breaking, and just game is just all neutral timeouts. Like, is that really gonna turn into the meta?
Liu Kang would then zone the shit out of you.
Liu
and then
Kang's
got
he
next
needs to be nerfed, obviously. Like obviously with a balance patch, you're
He's
gonna
not gonna
okay,
zone
you're thinking-
anybody in this
here's the
game.
thing. You're thinking of block breakers being changed while keeping the same top tiers. No, I'm
Dude,
talking about
dude,
what
you realize-
the high
I'll tell-
tiers
I'll tell you
normalized
why,
and
because- I'll
nerfed.
tell you
Then
why,
you
because
introduce
if
the
you're a
block
character that
breakers.
has a 9-frame poke and somebody has a 6-frame poke, they'll just block breaker you. The minute you poke
Then
out of
take
the
the
corner,
bar from them. Take the bar and their
they'll
stamina from
block
them, and then
breaker
come in
you,
again.
then get up and go right into pressure. Block breaker will
Like,
give free
you can
pressure in
block
corner
break, make
situations.
them come off their bar and then come in again because it doesn't take your stamina.
Okay, so in the corner you block breaker somebody, and then you get offense again by block breakering them. That's no.
No, they need to fix that. That's not a block breaker issue. That's the mechanic that why are we getting knocked down like right next to each other's face? Like that's bad design.
I'm just saying
Same
it's
thing with breaker.
either way.
Character will break and then you're in their face and they have a 6-frame poke and you don't. They get free offense. Yeah, that's stupid. That
Some
shouldn't
things
be
would
like.
have to change to make it work. As it
Okay,
is,
anyway, that was my first change. Second change, the anti-airs. Please, can we buff the anti-airs or nerf
Every
some of the
down
jump
two should be
defense is
wasted
better?
vulnerable.
Please, there's so many moves in this game that have cool anti-air properties. Like you have Leatherface who has upward saw. You have Aaron Black who has upward grenade blast. You have all these characters like Ermac who has upward blast. All these different anti-air looking attacks that are just too slow and don't really work. Just fix those anti-airs. Make the anti-airs faster, better. Maybe nerf
Every
some of the
single down two in this
so
game should be,
defense
like
is
I
better
said, not
rewarded.
only should it
Somebody
hit
jump, slot them out of there. Like that's better defense.
Yeah.
It's making defense better.
In my opinion, every single down two not only should have hit behind, like slightly behind the opponent, but behind your own hurt box, it should also.
Yeah, they
be
have to
based-
buff some of the down twos are pretty bad, and I mean it only leads to 14%. Like if you miss
I think
jump in?
all down, like I said, all down two should be waste and vulnerable.
yeah, they need to be better. Like they need to anti way better
Yeah,
than they are
and-
right now. Right
But
now, it's
like
a hard
Injustice 2 anti-air, like you're not jumping. Like you're not jumping. No matter what character, you're not jumping.
I would say when
add
I
that
played
to make
Injustice
defense
2,
better, like giving something that what everybody wants.
yeah, I'd say Injustice 2, like the little
They
time
got
you play
anti-airs
with the beta,
down.
with the beta and
They-
the alpha, you
You're not
were
jumping.
not jumping.
You're not jumping.
You're dead.
The game feels like Street Fighter, but like with Injustice.
Okay, Rio, what's the third thing
And
you
then,
wanted to say?
aside from those two things, like I don't know, make some more of the 50/50s unsafe on block, reduce some of the characters' run cancel pressure, maybe add a meter burn backdash. I don't know, do something, but just add things that'll help the defense. That's it. Like, they don't have to like completely go crazy and change every character.
I think it's
and make
just
it
too late for them to do something to the fundamental core of the game at this point.
But I mean, if they
can-
wanted to, why not nerf some of the safe 50/50s? You know, make them unsafe, make some of the cancel pressures be less plus. You know,
No,
so the
you can
case
do
plus
that, but
17 on name,
Rio, I don't
they
like
can
when
plus
people
10.
say, Rio, I don't like when people say, even in the like stream and on the forums, a 50/50 never should never be save on block. Yes, they should. It depends on the character design.
Well, some of them
depends, yeah.
should. Depends on the character.
50/50s.
Not launchers.
50/50s always depend on.
Tom,
what
it doesn't
other
matter,
character
man.
has.
It depends what the other character has. Same thing
Yeah.
with armor. People freak out. The reason Tremor's design works is because he doesn't have any good mids that hit that far. That's why the
Yeah,
armor
yeah,
works.
it's-
Notice I said they.
No,
they-
same
they-
thing.
no. I
they-
understand. I'm not. No, you
make
didn't say anything
every-
about Tremor. I'm saying
Man.
that you have to look at the design, like Fox said. If a character has a weakness, then I'm not against rush down on 50/50. They should
I
exist.
agree
It's
on that.
fine.
But so like the thing about Aaron Black is that even though he's not he's not designed around 50/50s, he's usually designed around space control. He has absolutely no good mids. So like when he does a 50/50, if he doesn't have any meter, yes, both of them, all of his 50/50s automatically become unsafe.
It's hard for him to get this
Doesn't have meter.
opportunity.
However-
2-1-2-2 is a good string, but he's not killing you off of it on block.
Yeah, he doesn't kill you off of it. And like the way he keeps his 50/50 safe, which isn't even fully, it's not even foolproof. It's like he has to use EX Sand Grenade, which is plus, but it's like he doesn't get guaranteed another 50/50. He just gets pressure. But now that comes down to conditioning pressure, which has always existed in like fighting games. 'cause
Yeah, no,
he
that's I'm
everything
fine
he
with that.
does. All he gets is a poke. Like the only realistic thing he gets is a Pope, which is not that.
I'm
scary.
saying characters like Cutthroat Kano should not have both say 50/50s option that go to plus also if they want.
Oh yeah, that's
Well,
fine. It's
Things
fine.
like that should be
Well,
removed.
again, it depends on the character. Like I said, I mean, I play Skullgirl, so I'm used to 50/50s being like plus 20 on block. But but like I said, it all depends.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean,
it depends on your defensive options as well. You have to look at the entire game as a whole. Now, 50/50 shouldn't be unsafe just because it's a 50/50.
no, the characters. But
that-
again, a safe 50/50 where both options combo is one of the most devastating things you can give a character.
Oh, I know.
I think when somebody
But
says
like I said,
all the
Tom,
character has is a 50/50, I think people underestimate how powerful a 50/50.
well,
Yeah.
it depends. Like I said, it all depends on your defensive options. Like I feel MK has like just the right amount of defensive options that allow like a 50/50. Or at least for me, you'd be like whatever, because it's like I have a breaker, I have a combo breaker. Like it's fine.
Yeah, I mean, I'm
I
okay.
could get hit. As long as I was good with my meter, I was fine. If I get hit again, no, I fucked up.
I'm okay with it. Like when we played Aaron Black versus Sub-Zero, I was okay with it, because we were playing MKX. When we play Alien versus Sub-Zero, I'm like, dude, he's the only one playing MKX right now. You know what I'm saying? And that's the problem. And it's significantly different Aaron Black versus Sub-Zero than Alien versus Sub-Zero. Which at Alien, I was like, why is Evo? I was like, why is it so different when we play this match or the other? Because one way is MKX,
No, it means that it's bad matchups. That's really it.
Yeah, but Alien bad match does that to a lot of. It's not just a Sub-Zero.
Oh, I know.
Alien-
I'm not defending Alien. I think
Yeah,
he's
which is
fucking-
like I said, to me,
top two.
to me, the reason to play, for me, is I agree with Peg. If you look at it, say I get a top 8 at Summer Jam after the patch or then NEC, no one's going to say, hey, Tom, whatever, Summer Jam or NEC. They're going to make no one cares. He was after Evo, didn't get any Evo medal, whatever. I agree with Peg. That's obviously going to be the outlier. No one's going to care. No one's going to look back on it.
Hold on. I'll let you finish. Well, what we're going to hear is, it took you 40 buffs to finally get a top 8. Listen, we have not been playing the same game other people have been playing.
Yeah, we haven't.
We are not playing like. God, man. I mean, I'm not going to get into it.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with what you're saying. I mean, no one's going to look back 2 years from now and say, hey, remember Tom? Didn't he finally place top 8 at Summer Jam, TFC, and NEC? No one's gonna give a shit. I mean,
Yeah, but like I said,
I go back to that time in second grade when I went to school
Yeah.
and I didn't have the Transformers Trapper Keeper, and I was super pissed. And I was like, all Trapper Keepers are not as cool as that one. I'm a little
Exactly.
upset. We had different tools back then.
Yeah, but the whole thing is like, even for me now, people will say, and of course, people will always say, why did it take you this long? For me, I want to do it because one, for my fans, who will have something to shove down the throat of everyone in the UK. Because say it or not, if I make a top 8 with all Sub-Zero at a US major, it's going to be a fucking war of ocean, sides of the ocean between my fans here and the UK fans. I just want to give my fans something so finally they can stop having to hear shit, like take notes or whatever it is from, guys over there, guys that have stuck with me from the very beginning of the game who really want to see me, look, we, deliver at least once or twice before the game is over. And for me, it can change my legacy as far as, hey, you know what? I make 1 or 2 top 8s. I go from here's some guy who never did anything in the game, who just was too stupid to do anything, or, and it changed the narrative to, what, this guy, once the new netcode came out, it changed everything. And he was able to grind and level up. It takes me from someone who was too stupid to learn the game, took over a year to learn it to, wasn't too stupid to learn the game, new netcode comes out, gets a top 8. Coincidence or not. So that's all it really is. It changes my legacy as both a Sub-Zero player, the chance to go down as, equal, the best Sub-Zero along with my Sub-Zero brother over there in Germany, Madsen, to leave here, to leave the game as yes. you thought I was done, but here I am in top 8 again. And to roast King Hippo like the dumbest piece of shit that he is. And rest assured, if I get a top 8 at Summer Jam or a tournament after that, you better believe the Brady cast will be better than any pop-off ever done in history. I'm not going to pop off on stage because there are people out there in this community who fool you behind the disguise of what have you done for me lately. But they only do that because they want you to forget the real truth of what have you done for me ever. And that's about to be exposed. Really bad. Really bad. Because not only could he not do anything in tournament, he couldn't even lose 10 pounds.
Oh my
can't
God.
do it.
Tom, who's 3 people?
Why is that even?
Wait, yeah. Stick to the game. But hey, what who are 3 people that you would love to pop off the most on if that happened?
I actually don't want to pop off on. Oh, I don't want to expose guys like King Hippo for anything selfish of me. I want to expose it because I see him talk stuff and he mentions guys like PL, and I cannot stand the negative flack that PL gets. As if people want to erase his
To
accomplishment.
be fair, he does it to himself. To be fair, he does it to himself.
Perhaps.
I think
He knows it. He knows it.
I don't. The one thing I wish PL would get over is his jealous nature to Sonic Fox.
Yeah,
Well, let me say this with all due respect to anybody's so-called legacy. The only legacy you can have is getting top 8 and then probably getting your fucking ass kicked by Sonic Fox. That's everybody's legacy for the most part of this game. Let's keep it serious.
But I
here.
mean, it doesn't undo what people.
Tom, with all due respect, if I got top 8, whatever, next major with Tremor, who cares? Nobody cares.
I'm again.
Like, Sonic Fox has dominated the game since it came out. He's gonna dominate the game since it's.
But Dave,
Yeah.
but that doesn't take away someone else's accomplishments for what they
No,
want.
Oh yeah, hell yeah. Of course it doesn't. But
No, it
ultimately-
doesn't. It doesn't
no,
at all.
not at all.
But like that's how the game, for the most part, will be remembered. By the community
This
and
particular
by the
game,
viewers.
Yes, this particular game, yes, I agree.
And again, I say this as somebody who's criticized
And again-
Sonic Fox in the past, but there's no question that he's by far the best player. I mean, it just is what it is.
An MKX player, absolutely. But look, and the accomplishments back that up. But my whole point is that
No, listen, no, Tom. So you remember when PL made top 8 at Comic Wicker, right?
I do remember.
If he had kept making top 8 from that point onward, that would have been the start of his legacy run. Yes.
Yeah.
But MKX is still not over yet.
I know.
don't think
And of
his
course it's not.
legacy-
Of course it's not.
I mean,
he
so-
can still like anybody can still cause a legacy.
But I'm
right
talking
now,
about the
right
people-
now.
What is the question right now? What is the argument?
No. What I'm talking about.
There's no argument.
I don't know what we're talking
Wait,
about.
wait.
I got a topic. He
Can you
wants to talk.
reestablish your legacy if there's no ESL and Evo? Can you like?
That's what I mean, though.
Can you?
Well, it depends on competition. Yes.
Let me be serious. If I went into NEC, SCR, let's say Kenshi got buff, top 5, woo, yay, and then I go to SCR, and I go to NEC in final round, and I get like top 5 at all 3, I don't know if I'm feeling myself too hard. Because you know what I'm thinking about? I'm thinking what could have been for the past 2 years. I'm not like, yo, guys, look at me.
But again, here's why.
I'm
You
the
can't
best
ever-
top 10.
You can't ever poo-poo people's accomplishments because.
Well, I'm gonna poo-poo it. I'm gonna poo-poo
Because
myself.
here's why. Because like there are certain regions of the world that if you were to say, your competition isn't exactly what it is here.
Well-
people say, oh, you hater.
Okay. But hold on. What I'm getting at.
Have arguments irrelevant because Tekken
Okay, yeah, exactly. But it's like some people can, just some people cannot. But back to this, Tom. Would you rather win if you're playing football? If you were actually the Tom Brady, although you're banned for the first 4 weeks of football season, would you give a shit about winning week 5 when you get back, or week 20 when you're in the AFC Division Championships?
I would say it does something for your legacy, as in people will always try to say you were not good enough.
I mean, I finally got my wide receiver back, which is like a tool like Kinch's looking for, and like.
I mean, it's
now
obvious. It's obviously not something like Evo. You see what I'm saying? Obviously.
I don't know. I mean, if I got word that Evo's coming, then that changes everything. But if there's no
for
Evo,
me,
there's no ESL.
again,
It's just kind of like, do people really care?
For me, I just obviously I don't want to end MKX without any accomplishments. For the first year in the game, I seriously could not play at this level because it was impossible to do so without the netcode. So for me to come back with the new netcode and not continue going with the game being patched would literally be like I should have never come back at all.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Like, all right, if I'm Sonic Fox, you know what I'm doing? I'm leaning back in the chair, putting my 2 hands behind my head, saying, "Ain't never gonna be passed." Like,
but you know what? But here's the difference.
Yeah, I've made it like you. Like no matter what you do from here on out, you can't.
Exactly. Like,
I know, but hold on. That's like Peyton Manning not playing the NFL season last year when he won the Super Bowl because they're like, look, Peyton, even if you win the Super Bowl, people are still going to say Tom Brady is better than you. They're still going to say Joe Montana.
My thing is the Super Bowl no longer exists.
Well, here's my point.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. No one cares a shit about your week 6 in Buffalo and your week 9 in Oakland.
Okay, look. Okay. All right, so say I go to Summer Jam, make top 8, TCW, NEC, those 3 top 8s, and somebody says to me, "Hey, Tom, let's be serious here. You got a couple of top 8s in the game with some good players around, but do you really think that you're as good as Sonic Fox?" I would say, I don't care, because one person's greatness does not diminish other
Yeah, of course,
greatness.
of course.
You can say, I can say, he's great. He's more great. But what I did was still great. You know, it becomes greater and great, not bad and good.
Yeah.
You know, so it still establishes, I can still establish for myself, for my own personal goals. Yeah.
And like it's like your own personal goal. Wow, I beat Sonic Fox. Yeah.
It's not even
You
to
know,
beat Sonic. It's not even to
well,
beat.
I know,
It's not even to
but,
beat
like,
Sonic
in the
Fox.
instance, like,
It's.
even if
I mean,
Evo and ESL were over, it's like wow, I still beat Sonic Fox.
it's not even. It's just. I want to be able to place in the top 8 on one or multiple occasions. It's never been done with this character in North America, and for a very good reason. You know, because nobody can do it, and if I do it, nobody still would be able to do it. I don't give a fuck what country they live in. You know, and I know I can do it, and I want it.
Hey, let me ask you a juicy question.
I mean, like
we get it.
DJ, when Denzel.
And here's the thing, I don't think. Here's the thing, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I don't think if Ashnar were to say, you know what, nobody has ever been in the top 8 at a major over here with Kenshi, and I want to be the one to do it. I don't think that means, whoa, saying pig is trash over there. Huh? No, it's just, you know, it's just we have lost our competitive balls. We're literally, if somebody says, I want to do something, it's never been done, and I want to do it. You know, it's like we're not saying, well, I want to do it because I want to say this guy over here is trash, because people keep telling me with the whole Madsen thing. And my biggest regret is the whole Sub-Zero Wars. It's going to happen every single Mortal Kombat. It's just what people want to do. You know, they want to do it. They're going to do it for eternity. I got it. However, it's an individual goal for me. And I think the problem is people take individual goals, or someone says, I want to beat Sonic Fox. They say, whoa, why are you hating on the Fox, man? A little jealous? You know? No, it's obviously an individual goal. I don't think Sonic Fox would look at someone that says, I want to beat Sonic Fox. I don't think he would say, this guy's jealous. He would say, okay, that's his goal. You know, that's what he wants to do. You know? So I do have a goal. I want to take Sub-Zero, my favorite character, a character to which I am considered the face of, and all my fans who are so loyal to me and so support me and are dying for me to do it. I want to do it, and I want to give them the uninstall on stage after doing it.
All right. Rio has got to leave in 20 minutes. Rio, you had a lot of stuff that you were talking about in the Skype, not Skype, the Twitter chat and stuff. Is there anything that you want to talk about that's really heavy on your mind with the game?
Of which exactly?
Well, I was thinking, Rio, like, I think, like, there's the misconception about the Melina stuff. I know that you talked to me about that. I didn't realize some of the stuff that happened with her, like, over the course of the game.
Oh, you mean how people were going like Melina was always good? She never really got changed that much. But you look at the logs in history, she's gotten
Whoever
almost
says
30
that, I'll
buffs.
punch him right in the face. Or...
A lot of people say that though. That's
I'm
like
gonna
the
punch
common
them
thing
right
today. They're like, "Well, Melina's always been good. Just no one good has picked her up." or looked
No,
into her."
that
No,
was
she's
not,
gotten
never
changed.
the case.
She's not really the same character as she was day one. Like she's went through a lot of.
Day
You know,
one,
her
she
down
was
one used to be 11
she was
frames.
Easily like bottom 3. Like,
Yeah, she got changed like a lot. She went through every patch. She kept getting buffed and buffed and buffed and buffed. Like
she
what?
was the
She got
best.
buffed in 5 different patches.
Patch from. But yeah, her back when she was +2. I told everybody that
Yeah.
she's like the best.
But yeah, we don't really have to talk about that. Do you know what the thing we should talk about is the thing I mentioned in the Skype chat with Sonic? People are like, "Oh, the game is not hype because Sonic Fox is winning, whatever." I don't think that's true.
Yeah.
I think the game isn't that hype, which we kind of touched on earlier, is because the meta is stale and it's it's common with a lot of characters. Like a lot of characters do a bit of the same thing as Dave said. Like a lot of characters win by applying offense and mixing and doing stuff like that.
Mhm.
So maybe a lot of people aren't too fond of the meta or how the game plays at a high level. You guys want to talk about that?
No, I mean, there's not. Honestly, like we already touched on it. I think
Yeah, we
it
kinda
has
did.
nothing. Yeah, it has nothing to do with Sonic Fox. You know, like there's just the fact that
Yeah, I
we
agree.
just see more of the same. Like whether it's one character, or the other one doing it. Even the first time I played Tom Sub-Zero, I'm like, okay, he's gonna put the ice on. He's gonna try to run away from me. Then I witnessed something, and my jaw dropped. All he did was put me in the corner, rush the shit out of me. I'm like, what am I playing here? Like, if Sub-Zero, the master of stopping runs, stopping forward movement, cannot do what he's supposed to do, and instead has to rush people down. That tells me all I need to know. Like Rio talked about zoning and making defense stronger and zone. It honestly will not matter that much, all because of one thing, and that's the run. The run changes the entire game because it makes, like, you look at Zaggy, for example, in Street Fighter V. He's a character designed to have bad movement. Why? Because he has the longest throws in the game that you can't
Some
escape.
characters are supposed to have bad movement, like
Yeah,
Boraicho. People want Boraicho to move like the Flash.
Like
Like,
exactly.
make him go faster, but then you're gonna ruin his design. He's not gonna be Boraicho. He's gonna be the Flash version 2.0, where he gets in and mixes you the fuck up.
Well, that's the point. Like,
Well, I
the
guess that's what
point
people
is-
want.
Well, I don't care what they want. The point is that some designs, have bad movement by design. They're not supposed to get in that easily. They're not supposed to,
Oh, dude, I agree with you. I
jump
agree with
half
you. Some
screen
characters should be slow.
anti-air. Yeah,
Some characters should have the weakness of being zoned out.
but in this game that doesn't have that because everybody pretty much gets him for free. Even Goro's, I guess rightfully so. Run got buffed, so I think it just comes down to the stale meta game. Even if the game is offensive, I don't mind honestly, but there has to be like a point where you say,
Okay, what if they
this
nerfed running a bit? What if they made it like, for example, random thing that makes no sense? I'm just saying this just for an example of a nerf. What if they made it so you couldn't jump forward while running or something like
I
that?
disagree. I disagree. I don't think that Sonic Fox winning everything is. Well, look, people obviously hate foregone conclusions. That's we hate the fact that but we don't actually know if Sonic Fox wins and everything. We do know if Sonic Fox picks Alien, he's gonna win everything right now.
Not true.
We don't. Well, I would say we
I'm
don't
just saying
know.
the game is
I would
losing
say
hype
I would
to
say is we
Sonic Fox
don't
winning
know if
everything.
you're always going to win with Aaron. I mean, look, I'm just going from the common point of view here, but I think the reason why people lose interest, to be honest with you, is I watched a video by Rio of tier list, and Rio had like a gazillion characters in A+ tier. So I was thinking about Pig, and I was like, what's so funny? So Pig is playing a C tier character. So if somebody were to say, Pig, pick a better character, and Pig says, you know what, man? He's right. I'm going to pick a better character. And Pig goes, hey, look at all these. Now, Sonic, you play a lot of fighting games, as did I used to at one time. You realize A+ tier is a really powerful tier in other fighting. Right? It's a really powerful tier. So Pig says, you know what? I'm going to play this character at A+ tier.
A good trade-off.
And then Pig would play this A+ tier character, and they would say, Pig, here's your problem. Pay a better character. Pig would say, let me get this straight. I went from C tier to A+ tier, and you're telling me play a better character. I think that's where people get upset, that you can play a character as high as A+ tier, and you're still told you don't play to win. I watched Snake Eyes play Zangief in Street Fighter 4, and I never heard anybody say Snake Eyes does not play to win. If you were playing Mortal Kombat, that's what we would say. And I just think...
think about Street Fighter 4 Zangief, two-frame command throws, everything that was virtually safe on everybody else was not safe.
Yeah, but again, I just think the thing that people don't like is the whole top 3 triangle, where it doesn't really matter how powerful your character is. Once you run into those 3, the only advice is play a better character. And I think since everybody plays those characters, that's what really,
Well, not true. Remember, Raptor did beat me using Taquito, and I used Alien.
He did, but then he
Well, I think Takeda is also. I don't think it's top 3. I think it's more like the top 5. And I don't know whether you guys. I know Rio. I don't know whether Pig saw the thread that I made. I think one of the issues with the game is that, you have certain tools, that are removed from certain other characters, but then just simply recycled and give different visuals, of course, given to other characters. I mean, what do you think about that? I think. If you can adapt.
Examples.
Well, you have why is Takeda's plus 34 EX Kunai on block when Quan Chi, EX Hellsparks, Hat Spin, Tremors, EX Low Shatter all got reduced advantage on block, yet that move got to stay the same. It's literally this design wise, it functions really
There is no reason why Takeda's EX Kunai should
There is no reason
should
for
be
Tremor
plus
to ever
30.
get nerfed.
Block.
There was actually no reason
Think
for
about it.
Tremor to ever get nerfed. When I saw the guy did nerfed him, why? And is that,
Wait,
that
are you
kinda,
looking for a reason
solidified
for us
that,
to explain to you why Takeda's Kunai should be plus 30 on block? Because I don't have one.
Alright, it shouldn't.
I agree with you. I think it should be toned down.
I know, like, but that's what I mean. Like, as NRS, isn't that a number that immediately stands out to you? Because I know,
I
you know,
think
that among the
anything more
reason he
than
gives
plus
a lot of
20.
Sub-Zero issues, he gives a lot of Tremor issues, you know, like, and that's part of it because, again, you nerf literally all these moves. I can name you 10 of them. You literally nerf the advantage by half. Yet that move, for some reason, is allowed to stay. So he can loop his pressure. He already has to stay 50-50s. He has great movement. He has a teleport. He has that thing that goes in the air, you know, like to escape corners. So it's like, I don't understand, like, why that missed. And Side Effects, I'm not even talking about Tremor. I think Tremor, like, in a balanced game, was rightfully nerfed. But, like, if you nerf Tremor, then why wouldn't you nerf the other top tiers? You know what I mean? Again, Demo, Sonya, why is she allowed to stay like that? I don't understand. Scar
He
did
got
it.
better. No, but why?
Yeah, in some ways she got better. So that's what there's some
No,
things
but
I don't
like, for
understand
me,
about this game.
my personal opinion, Tanya, from last patch to this patch shouldn't have gotten nerfed. Tremor shouldn't have gotten nerfed because they were both like characters that like you had to work hard with to win. They were good, but like they were good. They weren't as good as, as the player you put them in. They weren't easy. Like, they weren't. No matter what people say, and like with
Yeah.
Tanya, they were like she was good. She was like, in my opinion, yes, a top 5 character, but like only 2 people wanted them.
I mean,
Same thing with Tremor. I think Tremor was also a top 5 character. But, like, you had to work hard with him to win. That's
I mean, we've been asking this question of why this, why that for God knows how long. I mean, it is what it is.
I'm fairly certain they nerf characters upon people winning right now.
It is
My
what it
proof
is.
Like look at every single character I've played. And look at
It is what it is.
all-
But I do want to say this. I think we do a very poor job as a community relaying information. When a game comes out, if you try to be level-headed and say, slow down, guys, you know, so it's going to happen when Injustice 2 comes out. A game is going to come out, and people are going to start going in about, this character needs buffs, this character needs buffs. And if we say, slow down, slow down, slow down, all you're going to hear is, your characters are fine, you just want to play the broke stuff, I want my buffs. People close their ears and say, I want my buffs. You know, they claim the characters were unplayable. You know, this character, Takeda's unplayable. He has no business in the game. And now Takeda's retarded. You know? So what's going to happen is literally we cause our own demise. We might as well, people, I shouldn't say all of us, people pitchfork outside of Netherrealm with like their torches and whatever, threatening to burn everybody that walks out the door down. You know? Then they're like,
I know. I've gotten to the point, like, because of like how many from every single patch of my characters being buffed or nerfed, I'm just like, if you're gonna nerf my character, I'm moving on to the next top.
Yeah, I mean, the thing
I'm not
is,
even wasting my time.
yeah, I mean, the thing is, so like, say they came out the door. Who's unplayable? Takeda! He's unplayable! Right? So like, he's unplayable? Let's make him playable then. And then what do we say? Why is he so good? Who did this? You know, I mean, so we did, you know? I mean,
So what you're saying is you want to see less like knee-jerk reactions.
yeah,
is that what you're saying?
think about the poor position Netherrealm is in. First, we literally stormed down their doors about who's unplayable, who needs the buff.
Yeah, can we stop getting characters buffed just to nerf them later? Like, please buff Melina, and now we have to nerf her. Like, we need to stop doing
Yeah,
that.
I mean, people said Melina was unplayable.
Well, that's the thing. Like Melina, I feel like she's a perfectly fine character. Just other characters need to be better to be able to contest her better in neutral.
I mean,
Well, that's
so,
what they did the same thing with Shinnok. Speaking of Shinnok, I'm just gonna read a text from Cowboy. He just texted me. He's saying the EVO finalist Cowboy wants to remind everyone that Shinnok sucks. Of course, it's a completely irrelevant statement, but anyway,
No.
Wait. Can we go ahead and get that out the open real quick? Nobody I have talked to, not Paulo, not a player, not anybody has said, "Yep, Cowboy's right about Shinnok being shit."
Nobody.
Not
Even
one
Shinnok,
breathing.
other Shinnok players think he's
Like,
amazing.
the
Only
dude works-
Cowboy like Shinnok.
the dude working at
What the
GameStop.
fuck?
The dude working at GameStop all the way to the Evo 4-time champion, Sonic Fox, whatever. I mean, not one breathing human being, baby out the womb, nobody has uttered the words, yeah, Cowboy's right about Shinnok. Like, let it be known, cemented for fact. Cowboy has not been backed up by one single human being. And if he was, it would be like the closest best friend he's ever talked to.
Yeah, I mean, no. What I'm saying.
I think
is
with
that-
a few more nerfs, Shinnok could be the perfect character, in my opinion.
Oh, dude, if you
Anyway, go on.
talk about
no.
talk about nerfs,
What I'm saying is that, like, I mean, the game itself right now. I think, I do think a lot of people enjoy it. You know, to be honest with you, but I think the problem that we're running into is that when a new game comes out, if you are level-headed, you are considered. I remember myself and Rio used to do a stream right when the game came out, and they were like, "Dude, what about Shinnok, man? He's trash." And myself and Rio said, "Dude, if you take a character like Bone Shaper and you give him plus 1,000 on stuff, and he keeps a full screen armored launcher, it's gonna be a huge problem." So they did that, and everybody was like, "Bone Shaper's broken." But when myself and Rio were saying, "Hey, Melina was a good thing," when the game was coming out, people were like, "Melina's unplayable." And
She
myself-
was. No, to be fair, she was.
She wasn't
I
a-
used Melina first.
Well, myself and Rio were like, but piercing is a defensive archetype. Now, what was happening with piercing is, rather than people saying, "Hey, just touch up these areas and piercing is fine," what people wanted, and Sonic backed me up on this, people in this community have a problem, and you know this. They don't want to play the character the way it's meant to be played. They want to pick up a character and they say, "Well, this character is strong, and I want to play this character, but I have to play this character this way to win." Instead, they say, "Can you give me X tools so that I can play the character this way and win?" And piercing was a great example. A few touches to piercing's only problem was, like, you know, her Psy was full combo punished on hit, her telekick was full combo punished on hit. Stuff like that was obviously like whatever, right? But you fix those kind of problems so that, you know, she gains advantage in those situations and continue pressure, and her defensive options are very strong, and that's fine. What people wanted, though, they wanted mega offensive options. So the defensive options got fixed, her frames got changed, her zoning got changed. So then Melina Piercing became a mega defensive character with mega offensive abilities, you know. And just to show you how people don't know how to change games, people started saying back 1-2 should have no pushback. That would fix the problem. No, Melina would just block infinite half of the characters in the game, or she'd be at advantage because then characters with 9-frame poke, she would back 1-2 you, and then as soon as you go to poke, she would down 1 you and pressure you again. You would never get away from her then. So people just don't know how to fix problems.
But Tom, what do you mean people? Like, the community shouldn't decide
I
buffs
understand
and
that,
nerfs.
but think about it. But
Like, these are supposed to be experts. Like, Kamofee doesn't go around tournaments and say, "Okay, what do these guys want?" Okay, Mika wants a project. These guys want a projectile. These
Mika
guys
wants
want
projectiles.
Like, who cares what people think? That's completely irrelevant.
Myself and Rio were thrown under the bus for talking about Katana when the game first came out. And they were like, "Dude, Katana, there was no hope for her. No one's ever going to win by throwing fans, whatever. Tom, you and Rio are just a bunch of idiots. What she needs is a safe 50-50. Then I watched Sonic Fox win ESL throwing fans at people. And myself and Rio were like, "Unbelievable. How does this win?" We thought that there was no...
She got nerfed.
But do you understand what I'm saying, though? Like, they'll tell you, you know...
So, do you guys want to know my honest opinion? I think the characters in this game, like the low tiers and mid tiers, I think they're all fine. They're all really good design characters.
Yeah,
I think it's just the top tiers that are stupid. That's it.
Wait.
My honest opinion.
Yeah, actually, yeah. So Rio, like when I made that post about Kenshi, this and that, and then Rio made that really good statement. Wait, just say it. Do that argument again. What you're talking about? It's good. I actually like.
Okay, I think characters like Kenshi are good design characters. Characters like Boraicho,
They're
Goro,
really well designed, yeah.
etc. They're good design characters. They're not dumb or shittily designed. They're actually good. It's just this game has the top tier are just so ridiculous that they're shit when you compare them to that. But
So
in
the
reality,
Solomon-
they're not garbage.
So, the
They're
Solomon
actually good
Grundy
characters.
So you put Solomon Grundy
Yeah,
in
pretty
other
much.
fighting games, he's great. But you put him in Injustice, and he's Solomon Grundy.
Exactly. The top tiers of the game are just too stupid. So I think rather, even though the easy way to fix the game would just make the bottom tier dumb, like the top tiers, like, you know, make Kenshi plus 20 and shit, make Boraicho move like the Flash, make Katana have, say, 50-50s at launch. That'd be the easy way to balance the game. Just make it like that. So that way everybody's annoyed at everybody. But I think a way that they should balance the game is just take a little bit more time to balance the top tiers and make them good but not as dumb, and slightly adjust the bottom tier without giving them too much. And then I think the game would be
I'm going to make
better.
a statement, and I want to know what you guys' opinions are on this. I think the way this game is balanced is the problem. In other words, if they were to decide they wanted to nerf...
Wait, Tom, before you go on, I think we need to... I think we need to stop trying to make Borracho like Melina and think more of toning Melina down a bit. Is
I
my
agree.
take on it. Like
I
people
agree.
want Borracho to be like Melina, but that's not the way to do it.
That's not the. That's
Then
not
you'll
the
just make him stupid.
Yeah. So
Then
here's
you'll just give people another character to cry about.
here's my take on the balancing. I think the way the game was balanced was
I
they
think
want.
one more thing. With Borracho, I think he only needs faster plays. Like
Just something very slight. Like
Well,
not people want him
lot
to
of
have super
characters actually have
fast,
a problem.
better
I don't want him to be
strings, all
fast.
that
I want him
shit.
to have, but I want
You
to
make
be
it
able to
fast, it's gonna
punish.
be really
Like, I want
dumb.
my standing one to be like 8 frames. or
Characters
7
should
frames.
not
Just
have.
make his
Like
down
that.
1/6 or something. Like make him a bit faster, but nothing too
No, it
bad.
is. His down one is 6 frames, but he has no.
No, it's
his main
actually
problem
7.
with me. Oh yeah, well it doesn't really matter. Someone is like it's fine, but like his main problem with me was that like he couldn't punish anything. So,
Yeah, exactly.
like,
I have the
let him
same.
punish.
Yeah, so I think
That's it.
my thing is my issue is I think the way the game was balanced is if they want to if top tier character got nerfed, what ended up happening was they say, well, here are the weaknesses this top tier character has, and here are the really OP stuff the top tier has. They completely take away the OP stuff, but also leave all the shortcomings. So now you have a character with shortcomings and they're not as strong. Then they take a weak character and they say, okay, well, here's this weak character that has these weaknesses, but they have these good points. They'll leave the good points as is, take away all the weaknesses, and now you're like, well, now a character has no weaknesses and only strong points. I think when you patch a game, you just need to rebalance certain characters. You know, like you can't sit there and take a top tier and say, we're going to leave all the shit stuff and take all the good stuff, because then you're left with 100% shit stuff. You know, and you can't take a low tier character and say, here's the things that are good about them, and here's the stuff that are bad. Take away all the bad, then it's all good. I mean, I just think sometimes things have to be redesigned. Melina's a great example of that. You know, they literally took her strengths and left them.
Yeah, she pretty much kept every approach she had already, like her low profiling, her anti-zoning, everything. But then they just kept giving her more tools and more tools and more tools.
I mean, Melina.
And she ended up being dumb.
Melina, you still couldn't jump against
Well,
her.
like a really good character controlling neutral.
Yeah, you couldn't rush at her foolishly. You couldn't jump at her. You couldn't jump over her. You couldn't zone her. You know, you could never do those things. The difference is Melina was not an offensive juggernaut. Back one stagger Rio used to be what, -20 something like that?
minus 15.
Minus
Back one is
15.
minus 15.
So Melina is not going to get on you and say, now let me put that pressure on you. Piercing, if you wanted that pressure, that's when you would go to Ravenous or Ethereal. You know, and if you wanted the more defensive variation, you would go Piercing.
And she also does a lot of damage. I mean, she does as much damage as Tremor did.
She used to always do that kind of damage, though. That's
Yeah.
the thing.
Yeah.
That was one of her pros.
Literally from a random barbell, you're losing 35%.
Yeah. Now the problem with Melina is she has ridiculous offense where she's
No, she does everything. The problem
Yeah.
is she does everything.
she's got great
One variation.
offense, great stagger pressure, does have the option for 50-50s.
She just does everything for one
She's
one
the fastest
variation.
character in the game. She has train pokes.
She
Yeah,
can't,
it should be spread out. Like she
Yeah.
shouldn't be able to do everything in one variation. She
Yeah, you
should be
can't-
able to do
you
everything
can't jump at her,
across
you
multiple
can't zone her, you
variations.
can't jump over her. She hits like a truck for no meter. She has a wake up where half the time you can't even meaty her, she still gets up. You know,
I think one of the nerfs she should lose.
I mean, like,
well,
holy
so
shit.
for piercing, her little low side, she should lose that, but it's not given to ethereal. And what do you call it? Attack 1-2 is like far more minus than it should be, like -5.
I mean that's all it is. But like I said,
The sad thing is, it used to be -5, and then it got changed for whatever reason.
But I
First
think-
thought, back when 2 was fine the way it was.
I think
That wasn't one of her issues.
I think the main purpose here of what I want to accomplish is I believe the game is going to be patched. I believe it is. And the
no,
question,
Paul himself was going to be patched. He even made an announcement.
the question is this. Like Pig
Tom,
said,
I just want to say this just real quick. Because like sometimes we justify BS because there's so much in the game with other BS. When there should no be BS in the first place. Like Melina has this. Okay, so it's fine for me to have my overhead at say. Like it goes like into a circle. Where I think the better mentality would be to to look at it from objectivize and say neither is fine. Do you see what I'm saying? Like I think that's part of the issue.
yeah, but I think that's all past, and I don't want to dwell on the past. You know, what I want to do is I want to say the game is probably going to get patched, and
I think so.
Pig's point is, what is the reason to play it going forward? And I think I
For
think
fun.
I think for your own reasons. I think you could say I know it's not Evo, but it's still a chance for me to show under different circumstances. I could have done something in this game.
Could still
You know?
play like how the game's always been though. Like just
I
to
mean,
play and travel to the
You
tournaments.
can, but I also think that
You don't have to quit the game now because there's not going to be a
But
season
hold on,
4
but
or
hold on.
whatever.
I think
Well, people won't. People have a greater chance of quitting this game in a month or two if the patch isn't out. But if the patch does come out, then I agree. More and more and more people will be playing it at tournaments and this and that. I do agree with that.
Yeah, I do think this. I think also though people tend to get a little too upset over not having immediate success, and
I mean, 2
You know,
years, man. I mean, wow.
No.
What's?
Well, I mean, no, I mean,
where do you draw the line?
no, what I mean is you play Kenji, so obviously it's,
No, I'm not just talking about me. I'm talking about you. I'm talking about anyone.
Well, for me, for the first year, I couldn't even. I mean, look,
And
I did-
to be honest with you, I've actually people forget I've had some success in this game, just not pig success.
I mean,
If you
the
know what I
bottom the bottom line is I didn't just wake up in March and say I think I'll actually start getting better at MKX now, and I didn't go a whole year and say I don't think I'll level up at all, and then wake up in March and say I think I'll start to level up now. I mean, you know what I mean? I couldn't.
Hey,
You
hey, let me ask this: did WoW join the call? Ryan, are you in here?
Yeah, what's up?
Ryan. So,
Well,
Silently listening.
Pig, let me get this started. Just so
Uh-oh.
something everybody can agree on.
Mm.
And we'll flame you like about a couple of minutes here for your
Okay.
opinion. But give
Fair
us your opinion why Shinnok sucks, and you have 1 minute. You will get flamed, and probably
Okay.
get kicked out of the call. But go ahead.
Okay, I'd say number one, the only thing this character does is footsies. Now, the problem with that is it's MKX. Everyone can move.
Okay,
Everyone
he
has good
a
normals.
50-50,
Hold
but-
on.
Okay.
Hold on. It's great foot. He has good footsies, but again, MKX. Everyone can move. Everyone can close the gap. It's not that big of a deal. Number two, he does no damage. He does 14% meterless, but he doesn't have meter. Number three, his projectile. I mean, he's again a zoner. It's extremely negative on whiff, very negative on block, and it doesn't because it's so negative. He can't build
what
meter.
do you know about being negative?
I don't.
What do
Keg,
you
I don't
know
care. Let me
about-
talk.
What do you know about being negative?
Hold on, Cowboy. You said, and I quote,
Mm-hmm.
that this is real. You said being plus 14 is being at risk.
No, that's not what I said.
Yes, that's what you said.
No. No, what I said is that doesn't. Everyone makes a big deal about it, but it doesn't gain him anything. He can't do anything with the plus 14. In fact, he has to meter burn it or he's unsafe. It's not like it's luxury here.
It's good.
You want plus 14 that loops into the same thing? What more do you want? I don't understand.
Well, I was talking about in the neutral. Yeah, off the string, then he can get a better
Not
guess.
only is it plus 14, it's like when you have meter, it's not automatically a mix-up game of if you're gonna burn it or not until you don't burn it, so you just build even more meter. And people are scared.
Just challenge it then.
But then if you challenge it, you pop it, and then I lose like 25%.
No, you don't. He does no damage.
What?
In fact, you know this, Sonic. You do this. You can challenge it because the risk isn't that high. He doesn't hurt you.
I can die. Like
From less than 30%.
I challenge
You're dead?
every now and then when I think you're not gonna pop it. But like
Right.
if you do pop it, I lose like 30%, and then you
Yeah.
go 50-50 on me, then I lose another 30%. It adds up.
I have to do that like 6 times. Alien does that
No!
like 3.
4! Not even. It's like 3 or 4 times. Like, and then I'm dead. It's
Dude.
like the other character.
But the difference is other characters do more than him.
Doesn't matter. They still have to hit you 3 times. And so does fucking Shinnok. Like,
I think it adds up to more than that.
nah, but like, look at your neutral control. Look at your conditioning. Like,
But
what?
it's MKX. Everyone has good neutral.
Well, like, you just do house parts, and then I'm like, I'm gonna
Even
Or
Kenji
not.
has good neutral. It just doesn't matter because his offense isn't as good as the top tiers.
Oh, that's the most
You have a
that's the
7
most logical thing
plus
you
2,
said.
That's only -4. You have an armored launcher. Like,
Yeah,
it's a mix-up. Oh my god.
a mix-up.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, keep in mind, like, Shinnok is not a one variation character. He's another good variation, which is
I understand.
impossible.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
I think
I use
got
that.
the char-
Shinnok is
Yeah,
a
I know you
good
did.
Character.
So if you use Shinnok, you should obviously, if you want to place well,
Mhm.
get money, you have to be able to use both
I
variations.
agree. I think it's a huge
An
mistake because most
imposter,
people
yeah.
stick with one.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
plus you get access to vortex tools that like
Yeah,
will kill
Imposter
some-
probably has the best vortex in the game. Well, one of the best. There's
About
no
ha-
question.
Jackie's is still better. Jackie's is still better.
No, one of
Jackie's
the
is
best.
ridiculous, yeah.
No, it's one of the best.
His
Would
would
you
be the
agree with
second
that?
best, in my opinion.
Well, the thing is, it's against half the cast, though. It's not like I do that in every
I know,
matchup.
again,
and-
that's why I'm judging by two variations. Yeah, exactly. You have one, you use Bone Shaper in some matchups, and then you use
Right.
Imposter, which is obviously one of the few instances where actually the variation system works in this game. So you have one
Yeah.
variation that's good against some characters, and you have the other that, that's good for some others. So how's that bad, and why does he suck?
Well, I just told you a bunch of reasons.
You only talk-
And an imposter, and an imposter,
Twice and you lose like 50% of your life.
the meter build is even worse. Like, if you want to do the shenanigans, off of the teleport, try and build meter, then you're just giving up your mix-up.
No,
You're building meter in order to spend it.
the only thing he loses in neutral, in my opinion, is backward one. But he gains teleport instead.
Yeah, I mean, I'm saying I think it's good in some matchups.
He gets access to forward 2 and he gets access to forward 4. And then
Yeah.
he hits you and then he puts you in an unreactable vortex.
Mhm.
That if you get opened up, you're going to be looped back in the same situation again. And like
Right.
you lost 40% because you have the damage buff. And not only does he have a damage buff, it's that throw to 60%. You have to guess. And he gets access to literally dumb teleports and oh my god. This character's dumb.
The damage also depends on the match, though. Not every
Well,
match
but,
gives
like-
him as good of an output.
Yeah, but
Like Melina is one that gives a high output, but then like Ermac, unless you're in the corner, gives much less.
Ryan,
So it
Yeah,
kind of
but-
depends.
Ryan, why
look
don't
what
you,
you get. Like,
Ryan, why don't you respect
his character is dumb.
our
Like,
multi-Evo champions'
I
opinion?
cannot stand fighting
Because Sonic says every character is good. I just I don't
But,
trust
like-
it because
but,
it
like,
can't be
I
true.
say every character is good, but like Shinnok is like up there. Like he's up there.
Well, this is one of the things I've been thinking. Like, there's no point in making a tier list if you're just going to say everyone's good because it doesn't tell us anything.
But,
It's kind of it blends together.
Shinnok's amazing. Yeah, okay, so how about we go with your tier list? All right, where are you putting me?
All right, right.
If I were to adjust your tier list, Shinnok would be at A+.
I mean, I just disagree. I think he has many problems. No other character is as meter dependent as him, and no other character has harder
Look
time
how
building
fast
it
you
as
go
him.
meter. Look how fast you
But
go
he,
meter.
with what though?
You lose
Everything
meter.
he does is unsafe. The sparks,
Yeah,
like I
but,
can't just build it like that.
To make it plus 14. What are you saying?
Yeah, but then I spent it, and then I mean, if I hit you, it's no damage.
Look, like.
It's
Cowboy.
fuzzyable.
Cowboy.
What?
Is there any
It is.
Cowboy?
It is.
I'm gonna lose
Cowboy,
my
wait a minute. Fox, wait a minute. Cowboy, has
What?
any character that you used ever been good?
Have you ever
Wait.
used a good character in a fighting game?
Well,
yeah,
context is important here.
No.
No,
Right now,
seriously.
I'm
Yeah, we want to know right now. Have you ever used a viable character in a fighting game?
Yes,
Who?
Sinestro. This top 10.
Dave, you know good and well he was not saying that. Like,
No,
I mean, don't get me wrong. I'd complain because he definitely was not as good as Aquaman or Martian, but he
oh
was
God,
top 10.
Oh God,
That
he
was
was like
good
number
character.
7 in the game, not number 1.
Right. Yeah.
Well, what?
I mean,
I think in both games, Sinestro and Shinnok are the exact same tier.
no, Sinestro is a much better character.
I slightly agree.
It doesn't matter if Sinestro's a better character or not. If they were put them in tier list wise, I think they're in the exact same tier.
Well, that's what I'm saying, though, is that I don't think they're in the same tier.
Well,
And the other thing
they're
is,
in different
Sinestro
games.
fits better in Injustice.
For
like-
their games, they're in the same tier, in my opinion.
Like, yeah. Injustice is more of a defensive game, and Sinestro controls movement, so that's good. This is a completely offensive game, and Shinnok is his owner.
Shinnok can control movement in this game really well as well.
It's
It was
extremely...
really good.
Shinnok, yeah, that's my point. Shinnok controls movement very, very well in this game.
Flawless.
What?
Yeah, really
Shinnok-
well. And, yeah, I know you say, well, Hell Sparks is punishable. Dude, if you get a bar or two, I mean,
Like, yeah, and then
that's
like
a 50-50.
you're baiting
What?
him too. Like you're sitting there waiting for Hell Sparks. Nice. Now that doesn't see that you're waiting, I'm gonna run up and not do Hell Sparks. I'm gonna do a 50-50 now because I can. Because I've got now condition you.
I mean, yeah, that's his game. I'm just saying that
But you have to
it doesn't-
understand That game is really good.
It's good.
Like,
any,
okay, so I'm going back to Skullgirls now, right? All right. So I play this clone character named Fuko, right? So every other character in the game has a 50-50 to open you up in neutral, right?
Mhm.
Except for Fuko. Fuko is a neutral character. She controls all. Just
Sure.
She does like MKX block strings. Yes, she's still
Mhm.
a top tier character. Why?
Probably. I don't know Skullgirls, but is the movement probably worse than MKX?
No, it's better. Wait, Epic Character has good movement.
It's better.
Epic Character has good movement. Yes.
But is it so? It's like MKX. Because I don't know, man. The movement in this game is fucking ridiculous.
The way she opens you up is you messing up a neutral, or like she has the command throw, but it's like she doesn't. She uses the idea of a fear that she has a command throw to open you up, but like, she mainly just does block strings. Like,
Yeah,
it's
tick
very rare
throws.
to get opened up by command throw. But what makes her really, really strong is the way she controls neutral. It's like she has every single option to counter you at every at a glance. Has options to message you up close, options to message you at far, full screen. It's like no matter where you
Right.
are, she can do something. Selects the character, no matter where he is, he can do something. It was just like
But-
good. He can no matter
What
where
character?
he is,
Okay.
he controls all that space. It is fucking crazy.
What
Shinnok is
character in
like-
this game doesn't have good footsies though?
Well, every
I can't really think of any. Even
But-
Jason, who I mean I think is bad,
every
has good
character
footsies.
But what character has a 7-frame low starter?
No, I mean they have other things that just replace that. Like they have a longer range normal.
So, what's really dumb about Shinnok is that not only does he counter poke everything with his 7-frame footsie low starter, he can now that he knows no matter what happens, now that he knows that if you down one, he can counter poke with 4 he does back 3, and then you lose 25%, and then you get to hold another mix up. Like, his counter poke game is flawless. The way he controls neutral is flawless. Hell Sparks is super dumb, if you ask me.
You jump it constantly.
Huh?
You jump him constantly.
'Cause I have
More than anyone, in fact.
Because that's me taking a risk. Like I have to be literally at the perfect.
The problem is the risk is always in your favor because he does no
I
damage.
know when to jump, my son.
Wait,
My
stop
son.
saying he does no damage.
He doesn't. He does. He has the worst damage output in the game. Besides Pyromancer Tanya. Yeah, it's true. Am I wrong? I think even Sonic would concede he has low damage.
The worst damage output games to one of the best damage output puts in the game. Flash. In a flash. Shinnok. He goes from one of the worst damage output characters to one of the best in a flash.
Wait, how is it the best? I don't understand that.
You keep forgetting Imposter Shinnok is a character.
Right. Well, in some matchups, yeah.
Oh my god, but he puts you in a trance, it doesn't matter what. Now he opens you up with one of his 50-50s and you lost 40% back in the same situation again.
I mean, or he guesses wrong and you take a lot of damage from him.
No, you guess wrong and then all of a sudden he does like 5 to 10% of like a block string. Good picture posted in page. He does 5% into like
Right. Ryan, how did
save
you let
1
someone
plus
take that picture, by
meter
the way?
burn, Hellspark that now
I'm gonna get
Oh. It's because it was after I lost.
Why did you let? Who took it, Ducky or Steve?
Which is 16%.
I don't remember.
Damage. Oh.
I
I think it's pretty
just think.
Dumb.
I mean, when you put it on paper, it sounds good. The problem is, I just don't think it compares.
I've seen it happen to me in action. I have watched recent tournaments to it. Like, it's dumb. Oh,
I mean, he always has to sacrifice something to do that kind of chip. It means that he saved meter, didn't go for a mix-up, didn't do a combo, something like that.
You get that chip, and then you're plus, so then you get another 50-50 on top of it, and you're already damage boosted. No matter what, it's always in your favor. And then you build meter like that. So it's like, it doesn't matter. And then on top of that, we take all that damage, and then all of a sudden you're a Vortex character on top. No, fuck that. Like,
All that damage? It's 30%!
until you become damage boosted, and then they come 50%.
All right, Cowboy,
It depends.
hold on. Let me ask this question. Shinnok aside, why is Melina overrated?
Oh, yeah. Well, number one, defensive character in an offensive game. Number two, she has to take risks. Like in a lot of them, too. Melina.
Oh yeah,
Melina.
I think she's like how pre-patch Kung Lao was. He was the best character in the game only because he could fight everybody really extremely well. Melina's a character that can fight everybody extremely well, no matter who you are.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, like, okay, it needs to be said. How come, instead of saying Melina's broken, which literally everyone in this community does,
She's not.
why? Yeah, I don't think so. Why can't we just say that Foxy's outplaying people? I think don't get me wrong. I think like Alien is fucking broken, but Dragon is outplaying people. Like he's a great player.
doing it with Tony. He's been doing it, and Dragon's the player I watch grow. So like
Yeah, exactly. So this Melina, like, and the first, and nothing. She's always had back one too. Sure, the frame data has been different, but she's always done big damage.
That's different though. Wait, mine's 5.
She's always done good damage.
Wait, that's a 7-frame difference. If you change something by 7 frames, you can't say it's always been there.
That's all that's changed though, and so we're saying that she went from.
That's all that's changed. Rio, where are you at?
So we're saying she went from a bottom 10 character, which is what most people said before Fox picked her up, to now all of a sudden top 5.
Wait, Rio,
no way.
Rio was specifically talking.
It's ridiculous.
What character? What character?
Melina. Well,
dude, she got like
30
buffs.
She got 30 buffs, dude.
30?
Yes, Rio.
Yes.
Rio actually
that was Katana, man.
No, Rio made a chart.
Katana got 30 buffs, and she still sucks, by the way.
No, Rio. Well, so does Kenshi. Rio literally
Katana's
made.
Okay.
Hold on. Rio made a chart with every single buff ever since day 1. He researched it.
Okay.
Yeah, is Rio.
So what is it besides the? I mean, she didn't get new moves besides like a faster down 1. So what else was there?
She has a 6-frame, like what? 6-frame down 1 that recovers like a like an anime game.
I mean, its range isn't that great. It's okay.
No, only.
This is
I also like to add here, I've consistently, before Combo Breaker, when before Foxy beat me, after Foxy beat me, before Evo, after Evo, I've always said she's overrated. This isn't just because I'm trying to be a dick. I'm just saying.
Could it be that your character does really well against her?
No. I mean, she does okay, but I think most characters do.
She murders Sub-Zero.
I mean, maybe. I don't know. Even if she did, Sub-Zero's not this great character.
It's pretty retarded when you take out the top 3. The top 3 are
You're just downplaying.
No.
I think.
Hold on.
I think you're upplaying.
All right. Hold on. I'm getting the list right now. You need to apologize if I name 20 buffs.
Well, what are we talking about here?
He's not gonna apologize.
Well, you said she hasn't changed much, dude.
Not that much. Not like the community's saying here.
All right, well, hold on. I got the list right here. Rio made this chart. Hold on.
She's not a different character. She's just better at what she does.
Hold on. All right. Hold on. Wait, Sonic. All right. I'm going to let Sonic...
Okay, what's different?
Let me talk.
I'm going to let Pick take it to him.
636 people plus Sonic are going to comment after I read these off. All right. Telekick can no longer be punished on hit and will combo...
I mean, that's just a fix. Come on.
No. Watch what he's going to add on to that.
And will combo when special canceled into airside blasts are X-ray, down from -7 on hit, up to plus 22. Up to plus 22.
So what?
I don't know what that number looks like. I've never seen that. Anyway.
It doesn't matter, but okay.
Melina can now perform her X-ray attack while airborne. Buff.
Okay, 3 bars of meter.
Creates another.
Oh wait, may I add the X-ray doesn't scare on the last?
See, this is all garbage.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, well,
may I
got
add
2
that X-ray doesn't scare on the last 2 hits. So whatever combo she does, she averages about 50% like every X-ray should in this game, but she's the only one that does.
Okay, greatly improved tracking on X-ray.
Okay.
Standing 1 has 11 frames, startup frames now,
Mm-hmm.
down from 14. Down 1.
I mean, that doesn't really matter, but all right. None of these are meaningful.
Okay. In fact, you know your 7-frame, forward 4 or whatever.
Yeah.
Bump it up 7 frames. Make it 7 frames slower. Does that matter?
Well, wait. What are you comparing to Melina with? That's different. You said on hit. I'm talking. That's startup. It's totally different frame data. What do you mean?
No, I'm saying standing 1 is now 11 startup frames. Okay.
Right.
Well, all right. If I make your forward 4 11
I mean,
frames,
she really just uses standing 1 up really close. Like, who cares?
Yeah, she punishes things on block like you do forward 4 on block.
Yeah, I mean, she should. That's fine.
But now she doesn't use standing 1. She uses 2-1, which is 8 frames, and which is a high low.
Which I'm getting to. Which I'm glad you pointed that out. Next buff. Standing 2 is now 8 startup frames down from 10.
Mm-hmm.
Down 1 is 9 starter frames, down from 11. Adjusted and increased hitbox on back 3 to hit more consistently.
Mm-hmm.
Forward 4 now fully low crushes. Forward 4, I hate the FKBK shit. Forward 4-3 is now -2 on hit, up from -4. I mean,
these are just fixes for the most part.
You mean 4-3-4?
Dude, I'm not even a third down this list. I'm going to be reading like War and Peace.
Because then down 1 events like it's buff.
Like the one actual buff, I'd say is down 1. The others are just slight adjustments.
Okay,
she punishes better.
Okay, then I hope they nerf your 4. Tell me you wouldn't bitch if they made your forward 4 frames slower. Because
if they made the hitbox better, I'd be fine.
No, you wouldn't. You wouldn't be able to
No,
punish.
you wouldn't. No, you
bitch
Yeah, I
about
would.
it. You'd be so
That
pissed.
Paulo, if you're in the stream chat, I
Do it,
want
Paulo.
you to
Make 4-4
synapse
11
4-4
frames.
Do it. Give me a better
11
hitbox.
I want it to be 11 frames, and I
Yeah.
want it to have a better just a better hurt
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Forward 4-3-4 can no longer for special cancel out of it and is now -9 on block, up from -19 on block. Yeah, it's only a 10 frame safety difference.
Okay.
So forward 4-3-4 is now 10
I mean,
frames safer.
that's
And
the
it's got
overhead,
pushback.
right?
Yeah, it's got pushback too.
I mean, no one's getting hit by that unless they're really getting out. That's not a mix-up.
What's funny is I usually hear you say that about your overhead, saying that you can fuzzy. And no
I
one
mean,
should
no,
get
but
hit
this
by it.
is like, I mean, first of all, you can, so you're bad if you can't. Second of all, this is a really slow overhead.
So Sonic Fox, who I've seen get hit by the overhead, is bad.
I mean, he would still get hit. I'm just saying, like, if you can't fuzzy it, which
Well,
he
pick one
can,
or the
because he.
other. Don't-
So that's not something. So the useful that overhead is so you're playing Shinnok, right?
Yeah, go ahead and make that. Go ahead and make that overhead a
so
mid
You're
again.
playing Shinnok. You're playing Shinnok, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right. You do down 4. I do 4-3. You're losing 50%, my friend.
No, if I did sparks, you're dead. It
Okay.
just depends.
Beat.
No,
fine.
if you do down 4 and I do 4-3, oh, no,
Right.
you're losing 50%.
No, I'm saying if I did something else, then okay, that's fine. That's
Oh.
usually those are gimmicks too. Those are spacing setups, which Foxy does.
wait.
I think you're going to sit there and down 3 me or do any. So okay, so you're playing Shinnok. You do. I think you can do 4-4. 4-3.
Going so we can get to mid.
50% gone.
I'm not even a third through this shit.
Because Melina's down 1 and gets buffed like 3 times.
Yeah.
So.
All right. Saint 3 gets 11 frames, down from 13.
Okay.
Back. What is that? Back 1 is now -6 on block and +8 on hit, up from -16 on block and -2 on hit. Yeah, it's a 10 frame difference.
Okay.
That's pretty big because they stagger back 1 a lot. That's significant.
Okay,
fine.
back 1-2 is now +2 on block, up from -3 on block. That's a 5. Yeah, it's a 5 frame difference. Forward 2 is now +2 on block and +9 on hit, up from -8 and -5. Dude, look at all these punishable
Forward one,
ones
forward
and
one,
strings and all. Yeah, forward 1. I mean, all this shit was
And
strange. She was
armor
completely
breaks.
rehauled.
It should be punished.
And a 2-hit armor breaking move that is not.
Yeah. All right. Remove 5 frames from double side blast. Remove 3 recovery frames from side blast. Remove 3 recovery frames from air side blast. Side blast is now -8 on block and +14 on hit. It used to be -11.
Sure.
So side blast up close, you wouldn't be able to punish that anymore with your
Fine.
new 11 frame low we're giving you. Down forward punch now has a 6 frame startup. Wait, is that down 1? Okay, yeah, down 1.
Forward. No.
Down, I hate this FP shit. God, it's so stupid.
Forward kick is 3. Forward kick is 3.
God damn it, I hate this.
Back
All
kick is 4.
Down 1 is
That's
6 startup
big.
frames. It's -5 on block. Down from 9 startup and -4 on block. God, they buffed it again. All right, down 3 is 8 startup frames, -6 on block. Down from 10 and -1 on block.
+1. It used to be +1.
Oh, plus yeah.
It said -1. It used to be +1.
Away back kick. God damn it. Has increased pushback and is now -4 on block, up from -8. Towards back kick now has 15 startup frames. It's -8, down from 17, and -31 on block. Yeah, that's only a what? God.
Hello, starter. That's not
Again,
Her low
This shit is
starter.
all-
Her low starter went from -31 to -8 on block.
Mm-hmm.
Not a big deal.
That's fine.
Not a big deal.
No, it's not.
Yeah. This should. All right.
Her down 1 buff's a pretty big deal.
Yeah, it is, especially in pressure and tight quarters.
Her down 1's just okay. It doesn't have a range.
Her
Oh
forward
man,
1
my
buff
man's
is
just
pretty
down
big.
player.
Okay. All right. We got some more. We got some more.
I mean, what interest do I have in downplaying? I don't use
I got
Melina.
more. I got more.
They buffed her forward 1.
I got more. We removed 5 extra recovery frames from loci, so that's 10 total now. Removed 5 recovery frames from double loci. Loci is now +7 on hit, up from +1. Double loci is +8, up from +2. Away forward punch is now -2, down from -5. I mean, no matter what I say, unless I just give the bitch a one-hit infinite, you're gonna say that she's garbage.
I did not say she's garbage. Hold on. That's not true. You're putting words in my mouth.
All right, WoundCowboy. Listen.
Wow, what do you think about
The
Jack?
moment your
Oh,
character
I'm gonna play one.
4-4
Oh,
goes to
I got
11
it
frames,
covered.
then I will finally
Hold
say
on a
your
minute.
character is
Hold on a
low.
minute. I got it covered.
Okay.
Dude, these frames, dude, I have a boner the size of
pig.
No, I have the boner the size of China. If the buffs came out and I got all these differences, like my standing 4 is 6 frames faster, this and that. Oh my god.
I got it.
You have a list like that. You probably have more buffs than Melina, and you still bitch about Kenshi. What are
No.
you talking about?
No, my buffs are not these buffs. Oh, you know what my buffs were? You know the big buff, no, you know the big buff that I was promised? You know the big buff turned out to be last September? Your down 3's a low. Oh, welcome to 2015 April.
Dude, you have a longer list of buffs than Melina.
Yeah, but they're nothing like this. In fact, can we talk about the nerfs that they've not listed? Like they took the armor away from EX back forward 3 and Kenjutsu?
Wait a minute. Wound, what do you think about Jax?
Broke. Probably top 5.
Jax is shit.
The problem... Shit.
You see that? You see how because I play Sub-Zero, Jax is shit. Much like how Melina's okay because
That's not... No. Hold on. I don't even think Shinaga's that... He does okay against her.
Cowboy, so what you're admitting is that Foxy's heavily outplaying you, and you're not as good as you think you are. Is that true?
Well, no, because we go about even when we play.
Well,
That's not true.
Didn't he beat you at a tournament?
He beat me once. I beat him once. That sounds even. And in online sets, we go about even. And yeah, I think Foxy outplays almost everyone. Like those list of things you added are not really why he's winning. He's winning because he's good at guessing. He's good at getting in people's heads.
Oh, no,
he's good
we're
at playing
not saying
footsies.
that. We're trying to make a point that your character's amazing.
Well, is this related to Shinnok?
I mean, well,
I'm talking about Melina.
Oh, wow, and wait a minute. Being able to break her 2 to 3 times around is pretty strong.
It's good. It's not, again, she's winning just because he's out footseeing people. And these things that you listed, the fact is, she still has to take risks to open you up.
Alien winner players win because they out footsie people?
Dragon, yeah.
Wait a minute, you said Melina out footsie people? You mean back one that have to cast can, they pretty much have to... Yeah.
This is MKX, there's no excuse. You can run in, you can jump, there's a list of things you can do.
Is that what you said about Tremor 2 when you tried about the armor?
You're echoing really bad.
Listen, Shinnok's an amazing character.
In that case, we need to admit that KDZ was winning with old Superman because and we need to admit
Melina is not even close to Superman. Get that shit out of here. It's not even kind of comparable.
KDZ forward 2 was out footseeing everybody, and everybody was getting outplayed by it.
The difference is that characters in this game have normals that can compete with her. Like it's not like Injustice.
If you were to put Superman copy paste Superman to MKX and put them up against Melina, it'd be 5-5 matchup.
Wait, what?
And Superman versus Melina would be a 5-5 matchup.
Yeah, because I think that in that game, it's not like MKX. I think more characters have really good normals.
What characters have normals that compete with Melina?
I mean, I think Jax does for one.
No,
definitely.
Not nearly as fast.
Alien has back 3, definitely competes with Melina.
Not nearly as fast.
Cassie has back 1 and down 4.
Just as fast, but it's low profile.
I mean, she down 4s then. Go under it.
Yeah, no, mention that whole Melina's pressure.
So what? She's not playing her game then if you're down 4ing under it.
No. I can't low profile her back 1-2. She can low profile mine.
You don't have to low profile. You just have to catch her trying to come in.
No.
Or be close enough to catch her.
It's not easy. That is not easy at all. That's Melina versus.
I didn't say it was easy. I'm just saying.
Cassie is 6'4" Melina. Like that shit is.
I mean, I don't know about that, man. I'm just saying. There are plenty of answers.
Melina does everything Cassie does better in the neutral.
I'd say Cassie's mix-ups are better. Definitely.
She has only when she gets the hair, but Melina will punish. Even if I try to keep my mix-ups safe, she'll punish them.
Also, I mean, she has instant air guns, which I think are really good.
Melina will ball roll me the moment I do it.
She's not, she has to read that. She's not just doing it.
No,
you can definitely...
If we're at half screen, I do it. If we're at full screen or half screen, she starts inching forward, and then she's like, because what else am I going to zone her out with? Air guns. The moment she does that, she can either A, buffer, teleport while she's crouching, deduct the gunshots, and then teleport me and punish me because instant air gunshots has a lot of recovery, or B...
Well, I'm not saying there's no answer. She has no answer, but she has to be looking for that, and then you just go in.
I know. That's a matchup I refuse to do instant air gunshots because I value my life a little too much,
I mean, I think it's okay for conditioning. Point is, I think that MKX overall, its mobility is way too good, and it's probably taken a turn for the worse. However, it does mean that most characters have options in almost every situation. It's not like Injustice where you can't move.
It has options, but
Yeah.
Well, we
And
already-
Melina, she has to take risks. How else is she hitting you?
Oh,
like-
oh.
Worst case scenario, you block
Back one-
back 1-2 and nothing happens.
Yeah, just do it again.
Yeah, she'll let her keep doing it. She's not doing anything with that.
She starts doing different things, and then you get staggered.
All of which are punishable if she wants to try and get damaged.
No,
It's fine.
Only her EX roll is punishable.
Yeah, I mean that's their base mix-up though. It's fine.
Having
I think I wouldn't even necessarily be opposed to having her toned down a little bit. I'm just saying that she's fine in her current state.
I
think
no,
I fixed it.
and I think she's fine too. But having
Yeah, you sound good.
having a special that's a mix-up is really strong in this game.
Yeah, I agree. It's good, but she's it's give and take. She has to risk a lot to do that.
Yeah, so does Alien. What do you think?
Alien can be safer than that.
No, I take a risk using my EX roll. What are you saying?
No, I'm saying like he can make his mix-up safer. It's not like Melina.
No, I can't. No, I cannot.
Overhead flip. Oh, the regular one's safe against most characters.
Everybody punches me with down one. I don't understand.
Oh shit! Down one?
Yeah.
Who cares?
Yeah. Yeah, what's up?
I'll take that.
I'll be safe. No, I get down one.
It's
then I'm
fine.
50-50. Come on, that's not fine. That's not.
I mean, again, I don't understand why the narrative is just that she's like an auto top 5 broken, needs to be destroyed. I'm not behind that at all.
I think she's the best.
Yeah, I'm not saying you're saying that. I'm just most people, some of which are in this call, think that, and I think it's stupid.
I don't think she's touched, but she's still the best. Like,
I don't think she's the best. I think she's good, but I think it's overblown a bit.
Kind of out there. Shinnok is an A+. So.
I mean,
All right. We agree to disagree. It's over. I mean, the entire
It's fine.
community agrees to disagree with you. But
right? Oh, they're all wrong. It's fine.
damn.
I mean,
I
All
like
right, so
Shinnok-
Patrick's in the call. He's armed cap. He wanted to defend his Shinnok brethren.
yeah,
Uh-oh.
there's
Thank
no
you.
fucking way that character.
Thought you meant peanut at all.
I think so.
Wait,
I think
wait, what?
Shinnok is ridiculous.
Shinnok is
Please
fucked
go
up.
and body people then.
I mean,
No,
I
that-
do
that's
okay.
not-
I need
that's
to
not
get
fair.
off my
That's
part. I
not
agree with
fair.
that, but
That's
like,
not
I
fair.
just think the character.
That's not fair.
Sick.
I think that is fair. You can't
Sonya
just sit and
MK9
talk.
was easily top 3, but I was the only one that bodied people with her.
Who was?
Sonya was easily top 3 in MK9, but I was the only one that bodied people with her. And that was when the game was dead, by the way. She was completely irrelevant when the game was alive.
Wait, you're saying Melina?
Sonya
I did not understanding who you're saying. Sonya?
in MK9 was top 3, but when the game was alive, she was practically irrelevant. She was like, she never ever like showed up in the top 3 until the game was dead.
Oh my god.
Like once.
What do you mean?
Once.
That was a pretty strong fucking performance, and I'd say most people who played my god knew he was really good.
That's like perfect representation, like top 5.
Sonic, do you know who the top 2 Sonyas at 2013 Evo were?
Like what? Morty Sonsfield and Dago?
I don't know.
Wait, Ryan, tell Sonic Fox who the top 2.
I think we know where this is going.
Tell Sonic Fox who the top 2 Rushdown Sonya players were at 2013 Evo. What are the names? What's the first guy's name?
My god.
Okay, who was the
Evo
second?
Legend.
Who's the second?
You, right?
Yep.
Although you use Kenshi too, which is
Dude,
stupid.
I used Kenshi 2 matches, and I used Sonya like 8 matches. I used Sonya after I lost to King and Winners. I used Melina to beat Chef, and then Melina to win my next match, and then versus King, I used Kenshi. I was pissed. I said, you know what? I don't give a shit about this. I don't care about justice. No one gives a shit about it. I said, I went on a rant. No one gives a shit about Mortal Kombat 9 in 2013. This is all a big send-off anyway. I was like, I'm going straight up Sonya. I wrecked ass. In losers. I kicked.
You still got 9th though.
Dude, I got 9th.
9th is last place.
Dude, I got 9th though with Sonya. Get the fuck.
I remember when
out of here.
I beat King at 2014 Evo with Kenshi, and I was like, King, what are you fucking doing?
The only oh wait don't wait
2014
little
Evo,
man
I beat Forever King with Kenshi.
hold on who had your number in Mortal Kombat 9 despite whatever
Here we go.
despite whatever character you tried to pick against him?
No, to be fair, I was asked. Though. To be fair, I was asked.
No,
It was
me.
you.
It was
It
me.
was you.
I'm getting
It was you, but to be fair, I was asked.
Check the tape.
Turbo had it too.
No, I was kidding. I mean, I could just as much say I could just
To be fair,
Sonic
I was
has my ass
ass.
in every other game, so it's a big bunch of whatever.
To be fair,
You
Kirby
weren't
Relations
I
ass.
was ass.
You weren't ass.
I don't even know what fundamentals were. I just played. That was the time when I only played my character.
I mean,
so
you've
I
always
was-
you always play
I
like
was pretty-
Sonic. I mean,
What are you
I wish
talking about?
I wish I knew what I knew now about fighting games in MK9. I'd be undefeatable free.
well, you were 13.
Free.
I mean, you were 13 years old. You were 13.
This is cancerous.
I knew what I knew about fighting games now.
I don't know.
I would be unstoppable free.
I'm gonna take my Sonya props. I don't give a shit. I love it. Anyway, do you guys want to move this call along? Patrick, do you have anything more to say to Ryan about Shinnok? Do you guys have anything to
Wait,
debate?
did somebody? Yeah, I was listening a second ago. Did somebody say something about like buffs or nerfs for Shinnok? Did I tune in right about that or no?
Nobody said anything. No.
Okay.
No, I nerfed. So he was saying.
Oh, that's right.
He was saying
Yeah.
Snack would be perfectly fine if it's 4-4 win to 11 frames. I was like, that would be the first time.
As long as it had a better hitbox. To
That
be
would
clear here.
And I told him that would be the first time your character actually goes low tier.
Okay.
Nah,
I don't know. Sorry. Go
That's, I
on.
just want a better. I was just saying I want a better
Patrick,
hitbox.
would you rather keep your 7 frame 4-4 or 11 frame 4-4? Better hitbox.
Dude,
As long as there's a threat of a low and an overhead, I don't really think. As long as the low isn't like slower than 15 frames, I don't think it's gonna matter as much because you're still
Yeah.
gonna make it anyway.
And plus he has a 6 frame down 1, so it's not like he just has no option.
To be honest with you, I
I'm
think
just saying his
imposters
character's
should
good.
have to choose either the teleport or meter burn Hellspark. Shouldn't have them both.
What?
What do you mean by
What does that
teleport? Like teleport at all?
I mean, I think Necromancer, the Necromancer specific moves.
One of the worst variations in the game, by the way.
I think the Necromancer specific moves should be very, very strong. I think Imposter should have the teleport and the vortex, and I think Bone Shaper should have the Hellspark shit.
But yeah, wait, real quick.
Whoa, no, because
Cowboy, that's not fair. That's not fair when he said that Shinnok was ridiculous. He said go win a tournament with him. That's not fair.
Well,
And
hold on. Anybody can sit back and talk. I mean, it's actually not fair to do that.
The reason why I'm saying that's not fair, I win all the time as a acidic alien, but nobody else does that. That's not fair. That's
Acidic-
not fair.
No, I didn't say win.
I think acidic
I did not
alien
say
is
win a
not-
major, which I think even he would disagree is unreasonable.
You said go
I mean, I
out
would
and
agree.
You just
No,
said
go out and perform, as in place.
No, you said go out and win with him. What?
I didn't say win tournaments.
That was on stream.
Are you? By win, I don't mean literally win tournaments. I just mean do well.
I would
Pretty
love to go
simple.
and do well in tournament. I think I'd do great.
No,
I don't know if I'd make
the
top
only
8,
other
but I
acidic
definitely
alien that actually
fucking
does
do
good
alright.
is Forever King, but even then he barely does good. Like,
Who?
His only the only other acidic alien that does good is Forever King, but he barely. The only top 8 he's ever got with acidic alien was that combo break right there, right? No,
But if anything, that's good data though, because that's 3 people with alien that have placed.
No, because each variation of alien is a completely different character.
It's alien though. That's my point.
They're completely different.
I think what's broken about alien isn't Torcott nor acidic. It's the base character.
Yeah, the base character.
He's dumb. Yeah.
But
I mean, the bottom
that's
line
like me
is-
telling people to go win
The
with
problem with
Imposters.
imposters like Hellspark and teleport cuts off the front, back.
Yeah.
He can smother you. He can get on
Well,
you. And
I mean, the idea is that he doesn't have a projectile, so he has kind of a high risk, high reward thing with the
You don't
teleport.
give an
That's the design
offensive
idea.
Character
But so is
defensive
Batgirl.
Well, what about Batgirl?
In other words,
Batgirl is now the highest kind of reward with the teleport.
but the thing is, here's the thing with Batgirl. Batgirl wasn't like, she's high risk, high reward, but Batgirl was never like, oh shit, now let me keep you out. No.
I mean, her projectile was okay.
Shinnok.
It's fine.
Shinnok is like, do I want to play all crazy and hyper aggressive? Do I want to play these defensive style a little bit?
Batgirl barely plays defensive. What are you talking about?
Imposter,
Like,
I actually think.
I have projectiles, but those are ass.
Wait.
Okay.
Are you saying? Did you make a comment about you're the only one that makes top 8 with Shinnok?
Currently, yeah. Who else does?
I mean, Ketchup.
What?
Ketchup got an Evo medal before you did.
With Shinnok?
Was Shinnok?
No.
Well, no, I mean Mustard. I mean Mustard.
I mean,
Buster got 9.
Mustard out of 8.
he got 9th, fool.
Wait. Which one of them made top 8 last year?
The Quan Chi player.
Ketchup made Evo. Mustard.
Oh, I'm gonna edit that out.
Nice try.
Yeah.
No, I mean what I'm saying is true.
Tom, in
Carry
response
on.
to that, though, I
Carry-
don't know how
carry on,
defensively
down
Imposter
players.
can play. No, I think Imposter, like, if you're looking at it variation wise, he's in
Ridiculous.
my books he's A+. If you're looking at it as whole character, I think
What I
Shinnok
what I
is 10
mean
on
is
the
that the
nose.
Hellsparks 2, to a certain extent, still slow you down. So Shinnok, an imposter, can be like, I'm going to play full speed. You better move slow as shit. Bad news. Yeah.
Actually, I think playing
He can-
slow
he
is
can
probably a
slow
bad
you down,
idea.
but if he has no meter, then there's nothing to.
Yeah, what is he doing?
You have an offensive teleport and a move that controls a lot of space that is an advantage.
I mean, it's not like I teleport and it's an auto win. You can blow it up. I don't see the problem.
I can, but what side is it going to be on? You know, some
Yeah.
It's
characters.
just, I mean, it depends on the character. Neutral jump punch,
Not
jump
every
punch.
Fear
It
that
doesn't
the character
matter.
actually like puts at you that makes him so good. Like the fear of getting hit by the low, the fear of getting hit for 50%.
Right.
Fear of like all this shit that can literally kill you in 2 hits if you do it right. But at
I
the
mean-
same time, everything that cowboy says is actually right. Like he does suck without meter and shit like that. But like,
Terrible.
I mean,
the
look,
pros are
look,
pros.
I'm a fan of this. No, there is no vortex should ever exist in the fighting game.
I mean, that's just not going to happen, Tom.
100% disagree, but go on.
Vortex.
They've been around for years. Like, they're not going anywhere.
They've been around from like the dawn of time. I 100% disagree, but go on.
I mean, the say 50-50 is new now, and that hasn't been around since the
I
fucking
know.
dawn of time.
I'm used. No, from the dawn of time, there used to be 50-50 plus 50-50s. We're just now getting to say 50-50s.
I mean,
Go
I
on.
know. Believe me, I've been playing since the dawn of time. I'll list them all up to you.
Vortexes have existed since
Kid,
like
do not lecture me about since the dawn of
2000.
time.
Since the
Don't-
year 2000.
Don't stop. Do not lecture me since the dawn of time. Since the only one here that was playing fighters since the dawn
But
of time
I
was
see.
me.
I was like,
So that's one.
Tom, I've dabbled in like every single league. Oh,
Well, then you should know they're not going anywhere, so what's the point?
Yeah, I'm just saying it's
They're never going.
it's a dumb idea to do. You should to
Well,
give
that's
characters
your
that
Hey
time-
guys, so we're going to continue this conversation, but I need everyone in this Skype call to do me a massive favor. Don't talk for a minute and 20 seconds, because I need to play my big leg intro tournament video. But we're going to keep this going. But I'm going to play the video, and I don't want to talk over the video because it's got some sound. Okay, starting right now. I'll let you guys know when it's over. Okay.
Go
All right,
go.
big leg. Here we go.